Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, gotta fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between. Yeah, it's all that, and we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to what's talk raps. You're listening to what's talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Welcome. It's I. It's he. This is Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. Of course, I'm here with Righteous Reg. What's going on?
Your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. It is Saturday morning. Very excited about it. It's been a week. It's been a life. It's been a year of hip hop. I'm very excited about this, Philip Lindsey. Every day I wake up and it's just bars, and then I go on my phone and there's more bars. It's a really great space to exist, especially after last year. We had such a fun time covering hip hop, multiple weeks, multiple months throughout last year. And it feels like that vibe is still around. So shout out to those guys for getting us to there. I rapped a little bit myself this week. So I've just been like engulfed in hip hop, and it's where I'd like to exist every day, every week for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Yeah. Besides basketball, that's been everywhere. Hip hop news.
You're not talking about basketball.
Playoffs are in full effect still, heading to the conference finals for
whom, Phil? For whom?
Not the outcome that I thought I would be seeing when you had two teams that had 60 wins, over 60 wins, and both of them are officially out of the playoffs. I did not think that would be a thing.
What the hell happened to the Cleveland Cavaliers, Philip Lindsey? I don't.
Injuries, man. Injuries were a big thing for Cavs. Garland missed a few games, and then Mobley missed some games, and that allowed Indiana to move forward, and they are advancing to the next round of the playoffs. I did not think that the Indiana Pacers were going to make it out of the first round.
Me neither.
Let alone make it all the way to the conference finals. But it did give me one of the funniest moments this week of picking my phone up and looking at clips from the Indiana Pacers social media. And our friend Jay Rose is all over these things, screaming into the camera. Hilarious.
What an amazing, first shout out to the homie Halliburton for what we were talking about last week with Jason Tatum, Phil, and how we don't really, we're like, I felt like Tyrese Halliburton was like, I'm that guy. This is my team. Hop on my back right now. I'm about to fucking take us to the promised land. I feel like he took them to the promised land. And so after they have this amazing series where they defined all of these people who counted them out, we watched this video, and the first person that pops up, Indiana Pacers social media, is our homeboy, Jay Rose, in the most J Rose mode you can see. Indiana Pacers jersey, just living the life. So excited. He's been talking about this for years at this point. This is not a new thing. So to see that, Phil, was like a cherry on top. That made the win even better for the Pacers for me.
Very, very funny to me. I don't know anybody that reps Indiana harder than Jay Rose does.
Nobody.
And so seeing him immediately pop up on that video, I was dying laughing. And then they've been using that clip of him for the promo going forward. So funny, man. What a
Jay
guy.
Rose is the Gilly to Philly of Indiana Pacers right now, Phil. They gotta make him the guy. He needs a big hat, I think.
They gotta give him something, man. They immediately started using him for promo, man. I hope they cut him off some tickets or something.
They were like, here's the promo from that we shot last night, and then the next 1 hour later, here's our promo too with that same guy. I'm like, wait a second, that was fast.
Very fast. Yeah, that in itself was funny, but I did not expect the Indiana Pacers to make it this far. And they did exactly what they should be doing when everybody expected them to lose. I've seen both Halliburton and Miles Turner they're both sharing the screenshots of the ESPN predictions of everybody picking Cleveland to win, which, I mean, the Cleveland Cavaliers were the number 1 seed.
Come
I
on.
don't think it was crazy to pick them, but like all of them have been posting screenshots saying job not finished. Yeah, hilarious.
The team on the other side is coming to try
Yeah.
to do their thing, which is another unexpected surprise, I'd guess you say, Philip Lindsey.
Yeah, defending champions, also 60-win Boston Celtics are officially out of the playoffs as well. They lost to the Knicks in 6 games last night at Madison Square Garden. Couldn't have picked this any better for Knicks fans. And Knicks fans, as you would expect, are in their bag. I knew that was coming. As soon as I saw them win the first 2 games, I was like, "Oh no,
it's over."
My dad called me. This is just how funny this went. My dad called me after Boston won the first game, and if you remember, all the road teams won the first games of the, and so my dad was saying, "Who do you think's gonna win? Who do you think has the better chance of winning a second game after this and probably winning a series?" And I said, "Dad, I think the Knicks are gonna win." And he said, "Really?" I said, "I just saw in Boston what I've seen in Boston. I've bet Boston in a few games, and they've always done this to me where I bet them and they start losing. When I expect them to play this well, they turn into this playing team. Now, unfortunately, things happen. Well wishes to Jason Tatum. Hate to see that, but even before that, you could see it trending in that direction. And when they lost that second game, I called my dad and I said, "I told you. I think it's coming, man." And so he said, No. They're going to go back to New York. New York is not a good home team." I said, "I know. New York is probably going to win game. It's probably going to lose game 3." And he said, "Yeah." So got past game 3. He said, "Yeah, I think it's over. I think Boston's going to win 4th straight." I said, "No, they're not, Dad. Boston is going to lose game 4." And so when they lost, I texted him immediately and I said, "I told you." I tried to tell you it's coming. Yeah. Knicks were up 9 in that game, and that's when Tatum got hurt. So I know some people are going to say they only won that game because Tatum got hurt, but they were already winning that game. It was already trending in that direction. And once he got hurt, I was like, "Oh, yeah, series over."
Yeah, no, the rest of the Celtics, the spirit wasn't there. Like they won 60 games this season, but like in these playoffs, it wasn't the same team. It wasn't the same as the Cavaliers because they weren't really dealing with injuries, but it wasn't the same team that we've been seeing all this season. They didn't have that, "We're coming to dominate and we're coming to win this." Like when the Knicks started to put the heat on them, it was like, they were like, "Oh, whoa, that's a lot more than we expected." And they didn't have anything to counteract it. And then so it was trending downhill before the Tatum thing for me, I think, at least.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I thought Tatum had his best game of the playoffs in the game he got hurt. He had like 45 points in that game. He was hooping, but
what he's supposed to be doing.
That guy Brunson, man. I keep saying you give this guy a chance.
It's quiet. It's the quiet guys, Phil. I always say that.
Yeah, you give that guy a chance, and this is what we're going to get. I was very happy to see Tibbs still being Tibbs. They were up last night by like 30 points, and he's still sitting there scowling. He's still trying to run plays. He's still got the starters on the floor. I'm like, man, never change. Never change, Thibodeau. Always be exactly who you are. The best thing out of this is I'm so happy for my guy. That guy eats, sleeps, and breathes basketball. And seeing him get a chance to go back to the finals, I'm so happy for him because I wanted him to have that here. It does kind of feel like Woody on the porch in Toy Story 3. Like, man, I wish he was here taking this team to the finals, but could not be more happy for Thibodeau. He deserves it. Great coach. And he's got that team playing great basketball. But
shout out to all the New York homies. The Knicks fans, like you said, are so outside. You knew they were going to be outside, but their confidence is at an all-time high. It's feeling
that clip of all of those people out in Times Square and all of those people walking around, that kid sitting on top of that billboard with like the slides on. I'm like, how did he even get, you climbed up there with slides on? Like, what's going on?
New York energy is just different, man. They do stuff like, how did you, when you see Jadakiss, anytime Jadakiss does something, I'm like, what do y'all be doing out there? I'm so confused about this, but they're weirdly athletic. They'll be in weird places with slides, like you said. Their upper body strength is on another level for some reason.
Yeah. On the West, we're getting a really great series, as I expected, out of Denver and OKC. These games have been back and forth. Both of these guys, stars of both these teams. It's very apparent by why both of them are at the top of the MVP race, because both of these guys are really good ball players. Jokic is Jokic. SGA has been playing incredible ball. OKC is a defensive force. I kind of think OKC is going to win Game 7, but could go either way.
Nuggets have been staying alive, having who many consider the number one player in the entire league on your team, being who he is, coaching, leading, and trying to still win the MVP is crazy. But the other side, those guys feel like the energy of what the Cavaliers is supposed to be. Like OKC still has that energy. They're young. They're hungry. They got the other guy who's supposed to be the MVP on the squad, and he's trying to still win these games and get his team to this championship. Feels like that's the most competitive. That's the most like we're in a basketball game. We're in a basketball series that's going.
Yeah, best series so far in this round. Christian Brown has been phenomenal. That kid has been hooping. Every time I'm like, man, where does this kid keep coming from? Out of nowhere hitting threes. I'm like, man, this guy, man, if they haven't paid him yet, they're going to have to pay that kid. And I think overall the issue so far, because Denver could have won the series by now, their role players just aren't really stepping up like OKC's is. You can see OKC just has more depth in them, and that's the difference maker. And that's why I think OKC is going to win the series. Right now, OKC is my pick to go all the way to the finals. I do think they're going to end up playing Minnesota. Minnesota picked up the win over the Warriors. I thought the Warriors were going to give me at least one more game, give us a chance to get Steph back on the floor. And Steph was saying in the press conference afterwards, he was ready. They were ready to put him in. He was cleared to play next game, but all you needed was one win to get that guy back in the series, and it's a different series.
Surprise, surprise, Philip Lindsey. The Warriors couldn't do it without Steph Curry. It wasn't like I was like, I'm not surprised at all about this. Like, as soon as he went down, and they were like, well, they just have to get to those games. Like, they're not going to get to those games, dude. Like, the way that Anthony Edwards is playing out here, like, you need Steph Curry to be a difference maker. And so when Steph went down, and there was one game where Draymond was trying to take lead of the team, and I was like, shut this all down, you guys. Like, do something else. Yeah, now turn this TV off. And so
turn this TV off.
Jim came in and took over, and I was like, okay, well, there's a chance here. Like, if Jim like leads the way, but there was a lot of this series that I saw where Jim was not shooting, or when he did shoot, it wasn't that great. There was like, it wasn't playoff Jim like I was expecting, and that was kind of disappointing when I kind of expected him to take over the whole thing, and he never did.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's injured. I don't know what's going on with him, but he seemed off, and
he did.
I don't know what's going on, but yeah, Minnesota, Anthony Edwards moves on again. Can't count this guy out, and it's looking like he's going to play the winner of the best of the series. I do think the winner of OKC Denver is going to win the Western Conference Finals. I think if Denver somehow manages to make it past OKC, they're going to be smelling blood because Minnesota put them out last year. I think they're going to go into that with something to prove. They have a very, very good chance of heading back to the finals.
I do like how Anthony Edwards is like the fighter who's just like throwing 1,000 punches. Like, he's like, no matter what, I'm going down in a blaze of glory. Like, I'm about to be out here on this team. I'm about to get my buckets. I'm about to help my team get to it. And if we go down, we're going down in fire. And so that's what I just love about him. He's just so hungry. His whole team, they're just like, they keep counting us out. They say we're not supposed to be here, but we're just going to play basketball and keep winning.
Yeah. Did not expect, like I said, two of the best teams in the regular season to be kicked out for the conference finals, because I predicted that Celtics or Cavs. I really predicted it was going to be Celtics Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals, and neither are there. So, of course, people are saying WWE predicted the Eastern Conference Finals because last year at Madison Square Garden, we had to stare down between Halliburton and Brunson. I think that's very funny. I think it's great that that rivalry lasted a year, and we're going to get that in the conference finals. Knicks got to be coming back for revenge. They got to feel like they could have won that series last year if everybody didn't start getting injured. And I do think they're going to beat them. I think they're going to beat Indiana handedly. Sorry, J Rose, but I do think the Knicks are going to the finals, guys.
If the Pacers are playing like they played this series, they have a chance. But the way that Brunson is playing right now, he will run through a brick wall for this team, for this life to be. I saw a clip yesterday. I was watching Grapsody favorite Derrick Rose. He was talking about points and how he never really wanted to be. He said the NBA created the person that he became in the NBA, like making him a scorer, making him like a leading scorer and all that. He was never that, and that it's more about the team winning than it is getting buckets. And that's what Jalen Brunson is. Jalen Brunson's like, if the team gets a bucket, then we get a bucket. It's not about me getting a bucket. And he's coming to blaze a path of glory to win this series. And I'm very excited about it, Phil. It's going to be a tough one, though.
Very excited about this series. I think we couldn't have gotten a better matchup with everything going on.
Light skins are back up, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah. Brunson doing this big celebration joint. He's going to be out there. Man, this guy takes them back to the finals after that team hasn't been to the finals since his dad was on the team, which is an insane stat. If he takes them back to the finals and wins New York a championship, I think he's going to go down as the most beloved Knicks player of all time, bro.
They're going to get him a statue. Like, it's going to be, they're going to name a street. Like, he's not going to have to wait till retirement. He's going to be instantly shot into that guy, because if he takes them to a championship, New York, I love y'all. Y'all are going to be insufferable.
We're gonna wake up that morning to don 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 don.
I got 100 guns, 100.
I got 100 clips. I'm from New York.
You just hear Timberlands in the distance.
Yeah. All the people that I expect to be going nuts about this. Kaz on the timeline being Kaz. The homie Jeff is going up. I see it.
Ebu.
Yeah, Ebu. All the New Yorkers. Yeah. I see.
There was some emotions though. There were some points where they were down. They were counting them out.
Yeah, they're all coming together like Voltron. Ben Stiller, all of the New Yorkers are outside, man.
Like Lee, they're all outside.
All of them outside, bro. That's all I heard that night. Yeah.
Like, wait, what is that? You're just like pizza slices being eaten. It's crazy. Now the New York guys, they can't wait for this.
Rose is winning. Listen, man, I have to admit that they're winning, dog. As somebody that has spent most of my life in a contentious relationship with most of my New York friends,
to say the least,
I have to admit that they're winning. And man, that cipher dropped. The Red Bull cipher dropped earlier this week, and them guys was rapping. I was like, oh, we're on that time.
Yeah, baby.
The joke of everybody telling Big Sean, you got to stop going first.
Sean, how has he not figured it out? Like, y'all are not gonna set me up again for this. Right there, hook, line, and sinker again. Big Sean, first verse. And again, Phil,
great verse.
Great verse in a vacuum. Like, damn, this guy's spitting. When you really break it down, like, I've listened. There's a video that Red Bull posted of them in the studio and Sean's rapping the verse, and I'm like, this is hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, great verse. I thought he killed it. Then we let Absol get his verse in. And I should have known when Joey went on last. Usually the guy that goes on last in a cypher. But Absol, I thought he was great. I thought his line at the end, ask Nene who your favorite rapper is. That is, of course, reference to an interview where Janae said that if she was a rapper, she would be Absol. And of course, Janae is Big Sean's girl. So, yeah. All great. I thought all of that was great.
Loved it.
Then we got Joey's verse, and Joey's cooking already. But then when he got into the TD stuff and he started firing shots in Absol's face, like, what? And then Absol tried to like seemingly press him about it. He was like, what you mean? Like, you know what this is? Like, I was like, I love this. I love all the energy about this. But man, this guy Joey, the Ruler's back dropped in January, right?
It's been this year where he started going off.
Everything he's dropped this year has been fire, man. This guy has been going crazy. So, yeah, he put out the verse, took some very pointed jabs at TDE, again, called out Kendrick, again, called out Rayvon after Rayvon dropped a record about him before, called out Daylight because Daylight has some things to say about him. And the exact next day, we got a Rayvon record, the Whole Era record, which I thought was great. I was surprised how many people were saying it was trash. I was like, oh, you sure? It was some bars in there that hit, like, bro.
Hard. Some landers. I think there's a West Coast bias. I understand. I get it. Like, just like we were talking about with the New York guys. Listen, there's a West Coast bias. As soon as West Coast come out, because they were like, oh, what is he rapping on? This sounds just like Turn TV Off. This sounds just like, I'm like, you guys can't hear beyond. They're like, he's just doing a Kendrick impression. I'm like, here we go with this West Coast bias. All you guys hear is that because that's all that you know. But there's such a bigger inspiration going around this. See, the Joey Cypher thing, if they put this out as a song, like, I'd be like, damn, that was crazy, like, super dope. But the fact that Absol is right there, Phil, and like,
right there in the video,
in his face, he's rapping in front of him 10 times harder. Like, Kendrick Lamar historically has stood next to Absol for like the last 20 years. Like, if you talking to Absol, you're talking to TDE, you're talking to the camp, you're talking to the guy. So for him to do that's in front of Absol, who also historically has a great relationship with Daylight, and to be saying these Daylight bars in this, amazing. I was so happy and impressed.
Very pointed Daylight bars in that cipher.
There's no way.
There's no way you could say he was talking about anybody else. But yeah, Rayvon put out the record, Whole Era. I thought it was a good record. I thought the whole hook of get active, stop acting, the double entendre there was dope.
Every record you drop, you say you're back. That's hella funny, dude. I love it.
calling him baby teeth. Hilarious. He had some ones in there. I was like, oh yeah, okay, we're there. The don't let power get your TV let your TV get turned off. He had a few of them, and I was like, okay, we're here.
It was hard. It was a bunch of also very pointed things, like, these are Joey Badass, I'm going directly at you. Some entendres, some subliminal things. It was just a really dope diss record, I felt. And to respond that quickly when Joey had just did that and just set the world on fire and not even let us fully digest it, that's what I love about hip-hop, Phil.
Yes. That was a great retort to the cipher.
Definitely.
And I enjoyed it, but I was like, all right, what is Joey gonna do? I again have to admit the New Yorkers are up because
I hate y'all.
Joey fried that guy. I'm sorry, but Joey got on that record, putting out the record the next day after that, calling it the finals, calling himself Joey Brunson. Just the metaphor of he's going to be the guy that brings New York back to the promised land. like Brunson, saying at the beginning of the song, Nixon 6, Joey in 1. I was like, nah. I hate to admit it, but
I liked it. I thought it was dope. I thought he rapped. Only thing I like knew every angle he was gonna take though. Like, oh yeah, you've been on TDE. I'll take forever to drop. Like that's like, yeah, dude, of course.
yeah,
like,
but
you know, that's such a. It's dope, but it's like, yeah, expected for me at least.
There were parts of it that I don't feel like a rebuttal would do it justice. Once he was like, nah, you just a little guy. Like, why are you talking? I was talking to the CEO. I'm talking to the head honcho. Stop sending the Goombas out here. Send me Bowser, dog. Send me King Cooper. I'm not talking to the sous chefs. Send me the master chef, bro. Like, why are you even talking? That part I was like, he kind of got you on that one. Because
I'm with him with that. Because like I am shooting at Kendrick. The biggest issue here is like, Joey, like if we're talking big dog, like he can't.
Yeah,
Like if we're talking bar for bar with Kendrick, he can't compete. There's no way. 0%.
I don't know, man. This guy been rapping this year, dog.
Rap. He's a rapper, but he can't compete on the highest level. Bar for bar, like if you technically break down what Joey's saying, it's really good rapping, but he can't compete with the highest level guys.
He out rapped all of these guys coming.
Definitely these guys, but like the highest level, like if he's competing with Cole and Kendrick, he can't. He cannot.
Yeah, he out rapped all of these guys, man. He just the metaphors, the whole rhyme scheme he started with, and he went for like 12 or 15 bars with this dog metaphor. I'm like, nah, dog. This is just different levels of rapping that he's doing, man. When he switched to that to the Ray metaphors he was hitting as well, and that's when he started shooting the shots in daylight.
That was hard,
bro. Yeah, nah, he was going off. I was like, yeah,
but that's why I think I like this, because this shows me that he can't compete with Kendrick. Like that's why he sent Ray out there, and I was gonna say Ransom. Ransom is not his name. Reason came at him too, because it's like when it comes to like getting to the thing, you can't compete with Kendrick.
Well, it felt like Reason felt offended at that Reason jab he threw.
Reason hopped in. I don't think he was really shot at.
Which I don't think that Joey meant any disrespect. I think he just thought it was a slick line to say, you're the next dude that's gonna get dropped off of this label, and I'm gonna be the Reason. And I thought that was a dope flip,
and I think Reason's just like, it's fun. So he said something, so let me try, you know?
Yeah, this is fun, and let me just make it clear. Don't just be putting my name and stuff when it comes to those guys. Like, let me make that abundantly clear. Don't just put my name and stuff linked to them,
because he's trying to separate himself from the whole TDE thing.
Yes. As much as I like the Rayvon record, there was a lot of Kendrick influence there. Not just the beat, but like some of the bars he was using, and just some of the reference to the Kendrick diss tracks he was using. And Joey was like, listen, man, if you're gonna just be a clone of him, send him. I didn't ask for you.
But that's also kind of like a bit, because Joey historically has like, his thing is like he but he is influenced by New York rappers and New York culture. That's just the same thing.
Yeah, yes.
It's like Ray is influenced by Kendrick. He's fucking came through the school of Kendrick Lamar, so he's using that influence to do it.
Yeah,
and also, who's the biggest rapper in the world right now? If I use that influence, it's gonna have a greater, far reach. You know.
I feel you, but if he comes out and says, "Man, out riding this guy's jock pretty hard," and then you come out and make a song that's seemingly riding his jock, you're kind of making his point, and that's why he was like, "This the same dick licking I was talking about," and I was like,
But it doesn't. I'm saying, but Joey does the same thing though. That's where we'd have to like. It's so much deeper than this, because historically, Joey is known for that. Like you've known for it being influenced by Hov, being influenced by Nas, being influenced by these New York rappers that you came up on. You know.
I mean, the first line of this, too much West Coast dick licking. That's a whole line.
you know. So
And
like,
so yeah, I mean, but yeah, his rebuttals to a lot of what Rayvon said was. That's why I was like, nah. Bring me the top guy.
not gonna get the top
don't
guy.
don't send me the edge heads, bro. I
Keep
want the
shooting.
rated R superstar. Stop, dog. Get these
Keep
guys up
shooting,
out of here.
Joey. You're not gonna get the top
But
guy.
see, I gotta say there's some hypocrisy here because when Rayvon was saying like, why you keep shooting at Kendrick when he's not gonna come out and respond to you? Well, wait a minute. Didn't this guy tell us several times if you say Candyman, the Candyman will appear? This guy been saying Candyman since January.
But he's not. He's a little dog though.
Nah, that's not what he said though. He said anybody they said Candyman, I will appear. Anybody can get it. Now he's not on the clock.
No, he's talking about big dogs. Like Joey's not a big dog. That's what I'm saying.
That's not what he said. He didn't say any big star that says my name. He said anybody that says my name can get it.
No, he's talking about the big dogs. Come on. If Punk comes out and is like, I'm going to fight anybody who couldn't fight me, he's not talking about the guys underneath. He's talking about the big guys, the guys that have the belts. Joey doesn't have the belt.
But we're not going to talk about Joey like he's.
I like him a lot. Like I said, I don't want to say that this is that, but he can't compete with the big dogs is what I'm saying. So when Kendrick's like, come out, he's not talking about Joey Badass. I don't think you can say that. I don't think you can be like anybody can get it. But then when somebody's been calling your name all year, well, I'll ignore him. Because he's not a big dog.
I don't know that you can do that. That's why it's a little hypocrisy here, because if Drake did the same thing, y'all would be on his neck.
No,
and y'all know it. Yes, nope. Yes, y'all would have. Yes,
a bunch of people shoot at Drake, and he don't shoot at all of them. How many people were shooting at Drake when the shit was coming out?
But that's my point. If Drake came out and was like, anybody that shoots at me can get it.
He does come out and say that all the time.
And then proceeded to ignore a pretty prominent guy shooting at him. Y'all been like, you're not gonna respond to him?
Because the bars are not that though. Like Kendrick is not threatened by this though. I'm saying
this is
they're not. I'm saying again, I like him a lot. I think he's a really good rapper, but like not a great rapper.
So you don't think that Kendrick's on the clock?
No. At all.
I disagree. I think 0%. He's on the clock. I think he's got to respond to Kendrick.
I think he should continue to be on tour and not care about this. Honestly.
I think he's got to respond, and that's what I'm saying. Like, if y'all were like Drake is on tour, he ain't got to respond, bro. Y'all be calling that Halloween.
This is way different, dude. You're putting Joey on a higher level than he is the problem.
But I don't think his level matters.
And I think it does matter because it can't just be anybody, dude. It can't just be anybody. And I'm not saying Joey's anybody, but he's not who Kendrick was talking about. He's not on this isn't a thing for Kendrick. This is just like a dude rapping at him.
But I don't think that he's anybody, and I don't think that it matters if he's on this level. If Kendrick is the guy that's telling us this is sport and get out and rap, he's been saying that since the Control verse. Like, bro, get out here and rap if you think I'm better, if you're better than me. But that's what Joey's doing.
If he does this, he has to rap against every guy in the world, and that's not what he was saying, and that's not what this is. It's not what this is. He's saying, like, if you guys want to chat, because does Joey have the crown? Like, Kendrick's like, I want the crown. Does Joey have the crown? And is he challenging for the crown?
No. But if you call yourself the king of New York, like you did in the Control verse, and you do say very pointed things at East Coast guys, like, I'm running this now, he has the right to respond to that as a New York guy and be like, hey, man, I'm shooting. You gonna ignore me and go for somebody you knew you could beat?
But like Papoose was also rapping about. Does he rapping?
We're not talking about Papoose.
Is he rapping? We're not talking about
Papoose, no, dog.
Battle rappers. Is he rapping at every New York guy who has also shot? Because this isn't the first time that a New York rapper has shot at Kendrick.
But I just think it's different with where we're at, man. I do. I think it's because, like I said, if you tell me anybody can get it, then I believe you.
Not the guy that was just on acting on Power. I'm telling you, there's like levels to this.
See what I'm saying, y'all?
Different levels. There's levels is all I'm saying. It's just different levels to this.
I just feel like
There's
I don't
levels.
know. I think if anybody from New York is gonna do it, and you're gonna pick a young guy from over there, it's Joey. And Joey been calling y'all names. He been outside. He outside waving a tech, dog. He want to smoke.
New York. I'm like the Griselda guys.
It's different, dog. Them
Like
Buffalo
Benny.
guys, dog. Them Buffalo guys, dog.
It's New York. It's still New York.
I know, man. I just think that it's a few pleas being copped for Kendrick that
I
wouldn't be
don't
copped
think
for
so.
nobody else.
I don't think so.
I think
I don't
it
think
is.
so. I think you're just putting Joey on
I
a
think
higher
it is.
level than he is because it's
But
like
I
it's
don't.
like
I don't think.
dog.
I don't think his
Levels
level matters.
They do count. You can't just be anybody. You know how many guys at that level have shot at Kendrick? That's not what it is. I'm talking about the big dogs, not the little dogs. The big dogs when I'm shooting out here.
So even if I don't say Kendrick's on the clock, so we can move on, you don't think Kendrick has to respond to him at all?
No.
0%. Oh, I disagree. I disagree. If he goes for the rest of this year,
a song and like here's 2 lines for you, that's it. Nothing
I disagree.
Not like a full diss track.
I disagree. If he keeps calling this guy's name for the rest of this year and he don't respond,
he's not his crowned. I'm saying, like
nah, he got to respond.
He's not like I said. Does he have the crown or will he take the crown?
I just don't think that matters. I don't think you can say that anybody that shoots at me, I'm responding, and then don't respond to this guy that's been shooting at you since January.
Levels. There's levels.
Like I said,
levels.
It's a few pleas being copped for him, man.
There's levels. There's levels. That's all I'm saying. Like I like Joey a lot, but there's levels to this, and that's all.
Yeah, I don't want him to get bodied. I just want the same energy, bro.
It's like,
don't
bring it
say,
on. Let him get killed.
My thing is, don't say, all right, everybody, if you're gonna get out there and put your name in the pot, then okay, he don't have to respond to everybody. Dog, we're not talking about everybody. We're talking about one guy.
But Joey is everybody, though. That's what he feels like. Joey, he's in those same. He's one of those guys. You're just like one of those guys. You know.
If you're talking New York right now,
like if that same thing happened and Sean did the big verse, completely different topic. Like you got to shoot at Sean. But Joey, you don't have to shoot at Joey.
You're telling me he gotta respond to Sean, but not Joey? Oh, I totally disagree. Yeah. I totally disagree with that. Oh no.
Yeah,
because I think
levels. There's levels.
I think Sean is easy lunch for him, and I think he knows it. You
don't think Joey Badass is easy lunch for him?
But that's what I'm saying. You can't say, all right, well, Joey is lunch for him, so don't respond to him.
But I don't think Sean is easy lunch to him, though.
He is.
I don't think so. I think Joey Badass is easy lunch for him.
Bro.
There's levels to this. I think Joey Badass I think Big Sean is a better rapper than Joey Badass.
No.
So it's like there's levels to this. He is.
You think Sean and that we just watched in that cypher get bodied?
He didn't. Yeah, he got bodied.
Nobody is saying Sean had the best person at cypher, dog.
Levels.
Nobody.
Levels. There's levels. I think if I technically break it down, Sean had a better verse than him. If this is technically talking though. There's levels to this, is what I'm saying. I think technically, if you break it down and you think of the bars and what's saying and the words, Big Sean is a better rapper than Joey Badass is. A better rapper.
Yeah. We gotta move on because people are gonna be like, "What are y'all doing?" But I don't understand the logic of saying, "All right, Joey is lunch for him."
I didn't say that. You said that.
But you did. You said that he.
No.
I
didn't say he was lunch. He's gonna have a tough. He's not gonna beat Kendrick, but he's not lunch for him.
You said that he's not on his level.
Who said that?
You did. You said
I said Joey's not on his level. I didn't.
You said Joey's not on Kendrick's level, right?
He's not.
But in the same
but token, Sean is.
Sean is not on Kendrick's level, dog.
No, he's not.
He not. Sean,
how is he not?
So you think Sean is on Kendrick's level, but Joey's not?
Yeah.
I know
1000%, and like not even a conversation about it. Yeah.
No, I don't see that, bro.
How is he not?
Bro, this guy has been trying to tell us he's big three for the past 10 years, and everybody's like, nah, you're not that.
But it's not true, though.
Nah.
He has the hits behind it. He wrote for some of the biggest hits, and he could fucking rap when it comes down to
Bro,
it.
I like Sean, but we're talking about Kendrick.
Okay,
You think he's rapping with Kendrick?
He's on a level above Joey Badass, though. Like, if we take it out of that, he's still on a level higher.
I personally
than
think Joey's better than Sean, but
I know that I'm saying, and you can, but there's levels to this. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think if you're saying he got to respond to Sean if he says something, he also has to respond to Joey.
No, he doesn't, because it's way different though. What Sean represents and what Joey represents are two completely different things.
Why though?
Because of what they do and where they are, and how they rap and how they make music and how all of this is produced and put out.
Are you making an argument because Sean technically has a better career in terms of like the hits and things? Is that what you're arguing?
All of it, everything. And like Sean is like, I'm a rapper. I rap. Joey's like at Power. He's like doing all these different things. He has
he told you in that record, I'm active and I'm acting. Only Pac would understand that.
I'm telling you, Sean's out rapping.
I don't know, dog. I feel like there's some West Coast bias here, man. I don't know, dog. I feel like there's some West Coast bias because
it's not. I'm fighting for Big Sean right now.
I don't know, dog.
I'm fighting for Detroit's Big Sean right now.
I don't know, dog. I don't understand saying he don't have to respond to him at all, though. I do think he should. I do think he should respond.
Like, go, you guys do it. Daylight's waiting, and it's gonna be over. You know.
You think Daylight's getting Joey out of here?
Have you heard? Did you see Daylight versus Tay-Rock? Do you think that Joey Badass could respond to that Daylight? You think Joey's Badass could beat that guy in a rap battle?
We'll see.
Daylight.
That's why I'm like
I think a big part of this is Joey. Like people got Ray immediately out of here because Joey has more fame, and I was like, you guys aren't really immediately.
He did out rap him though.
Joey spits because he has that. He has that already. They were counting Ray out because they were like, he's a little guy, blah blah blah. But Joey didn't even. Like, he spit, but he didn't spit like that. He had that bias already from people because they like him and because of his status.
I feel you. I do think some people will unfairly saying Ray Von's record was trash
immediately,
but I do think that Joey out-rapped him. I think that Joey clearly out-rapped him.
I think we'd have to break it down, but we can't do that. That'll be too much. Let's move forward. This is an Ask Grapsody topic.
But that's why I'm like, the levels thing is interesting because you're like, Daylight should be taken seriously, but Joey shouldn't. It's like, but Daylight.
But I don't think that Joey. If Daylight started shooting at Kendrick should not respond to Daylight. That's what I'm saying. There's levels to this.
I don't know. I think
if Ray Vaughn was like fuck Kendrick and immediate turned it around, don't respond to Ray Vaughn. What are you doing?
I think if you're gonna put that #1 headband on and you're gonna say anybody can get it, then anybody can get it.
It's not any. You're focusing on that. You know what? It's a broad thing. Come on, we work in wrestling.
I know, but I'm just telling you. But if
comes out and says, "Hey, anybody can get it," and then fucking an underneath like Chad Gable comes out, it doesn't hit the same.
Joey ain't Chad Gable, dog.
I'm not talking about you, dog. I'm not talking. About
Joey is not Chad Gable, dog.
Chad Gable.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Joey's Chad Gable. That's it. That's all. It's fine.
Yeah. Send us your super chats,
humper chats.
We'll get into some wrestling talk. Send us your humper chats, humperchats.com/Fightful.
Humpies.
We didn't get into it off top, but rest in peace to legend Sabu. Very unfortunate news to hear this week. It's crazy to think like we were just in Vegas, we were just in the same building with him, and he's gone. Like, I just can't believe that.
It feels like at WrestleMania 30 in New Orleans, Phil. I continuously tell this story. I was at that Monday Night Raw, or that whole weekend. They gave it up to Ultimate Warrior, and they were like, the Ultimate Warrior is our guy. He came out, he did that promo, and he was like, we were like, that was weird. And I remember the next day, my friend was in the next room, and I heard him go, "The Ultimate Warrior's dead, Reg." And I was like, what? We had just seen him last night. And that's exactly what it felt like with Sabu. I was like, I just was at the show watching him against Joey Janela, thinking that he died when he threw him out of the ring. There was moments of that where I was like, this might have been it. And so to get a text message from, shout out to my friend Denise in the morning being like, hey, Sabu passed away, and being like, what do you mean Sabu passed away? It's crazy, just the timelines. And that wasn't that long ago. Vegas wasn't that long ago, Phil.
Yeah, it was less than a month ago. Yeah. Sad. Very sad to hear that. I wasn't a big ECW kid, but he was one of those guys before the era of GIFs and stuff popping up on the internet that made you think like, oh, who is this guy? Like you could see a clip of Sabu like jumping through a table or doing something crazy, doing a springboard or something that's like, yo, who is that though?
The definition of what Philip Lindsey just described right there. Who is this guy? I remember seeing Sabu in magazines, going to the grocery store and reading PWI and seeing these magazines in like the early 90s. And they were like, Sabu, this guy's nuts. You got to see him. He's in the Northeast. He's not on TV. There's this thing that called ECW that doesn't come on in California. And everything was Sabu, Sabu, Sabu. And there would even be murmurings on like WWE and WCW were like, this guy Sabu's crazy. And then he eventually debuted on Nitro. But before, like, this was a must-see wrestler. You had to like find videotapes. Like, he was the first guy that what this generation exists of now. Like, think of Vikingo, you think of like Commander, and these guys are like, you got to see this guy. I can't believe the unbelievable things that he does. Sabu was the first guy. Tables exist now. We see we want tables. That stupid chants that I hate exist because of all the tables that Sabu broke over the years in Japan, in ECW, sometimes without a guy even being on it. Like, he defined what a table is to be used. There's still some spots that he did that were so crazy that they can't be replicated. Like, he would do the triple jump moonsault every match, and like, that's so hard. Like, don't like
Yeah.
what? And then that one clip has been prominent this week of him versus John Cena, and he did that springboard leg drop that he does, Phil, and he like defies gravity at one point. Like, what?
Yeah. That's one of those star making moments. Mm-hmm. Like, for some people that didn't watch ECW, that was the thing that made them a Sabu fan, right? Was the Cena stuff. And like, man, JR, of course, also prayers up to JR as well. With the diagnosis this week, but JR on commentary, that's what he did back then. He made moments like that because that's part of what made that such an unforgettable moment, him screaming on commentary. But man, like, this guy influenced wrestling in such a big way.
Huge influence.
Just like so many high flyers and so many wrestlers that people will call spot monkeys and whatever now.
Darby Allin, like, the guys that do destructive, crazy things that you think when it's over, maybe they shouldn't have done that. Sabu. They got that influence from Sabu. Sabu and Terry Funk's Born to Be Wired barbed wire match. I remember seeing that pictures of it first, and Sabu's tights are all torn up and he's all bloody and jacked up, and Terry Funk's an old man, and I'm like, what's going on here? And you see the match, and it's even more violent on the video. And just that was death match wrestling on a national level. That reminded me of the funniest story, dude. My cousin is he was one of those, he told lies a lot, like, but he would like really focus.
We all got one of them cousins.
Yeah, we got one of those cousins. That was my cousin. Like, he would just tell lies there. I remember one time he goes, oh yeah, you know that wrestler Sabu, Reg? I'm all, yeah. He goes, this was in like 1998. He's all, yeah, he died in Japan. I'm like, what do you mean he died? He was all, yeah, he was in this death match, and he's all, he didn't want to give up, so he just slit his wrist and he just bled to death in the ring. I'm
what?
Like, those are type of stories that that wasn't true at all. Like, not even close. Nothing in a million years was close to that. But that's like, that made in my brain Sabu even crazier, even though that wasn't a real star. Like, that little Sabu's nuts. Like,
wow.
He was slit his wrist in the ring and just bleed out. I was like, damn, this is crazy. I don't know why my cousin told me that, but that added on to the legacy of what Sabu represented and what he represents. And so there's so many moments throughout history that I attach with Sabu. His match with him and RVD versus Hayabusa and Hakushi or Jinsei. just so many things that he done throughout the year that are unbelievable. And then to cap it off with the Joey Janela stuff and how nuts that was at that GCW show and the things that were connected to that a couple of hours before the show. We were hearing that he might not make it to the show. And
we were there.
We were there, Doug. And so remember at one point, Phil, I walked over to you and I was like, they saying Sabu might not be back there. And so to go from that to seeing Joey Janela walk out there, Phil, and being like, oh, I don't like how he looks. And so his face was just like, I thought Joey was going to get on the mic and be like, Sabu ain't here. And so when Sabu came out and I was like, oh no, Sabu's coming out, and seeing his face and being like, I don't know about this. And then them doing the match and how wild it ended up being. Sabu took that nasty face bump into the thing, and then he took that absolutely disgusting back bump out of the ring and slammed his head. And so at the moment, I was enjoying it. Sandman came out. It felt like EC. I was like, yo, this is life. And so we hear this news, Phil, and then an article comes out kind of talking about that weekend or that night and what happened. And they had a couple of quotes from Joey Janela. And then Joey Janela said that essentially in the timeline that I was hearing that Sabu wasn't going to make it, he couldn't walk. Like he was in his hotel room, couldn't get up from his bed. And so somebody gave him kratom or something, which is an over-counter drug you could get at like the shops, the tobacco shops, and that led to him getting to the match. And so Joey Janela is, I think, just telling the story of Sabu being heroic and like, this is Sabu. Like we've heard stories before of Sabu being on some shit or not being able to make it, but making it or whatever. And so Joey's just being like, he made it to his last match, but it was framed very crazy because he was like, we promoted this match for a really long time. And we didn't want to not give the fans what they wanted. So that led to him getting to the match. So fans are like, okay, so GCW gave this guy something to get him to the match, which led to a big thing. GCW, Joey Janela had to come out and be like, Sabu's representatives gave that. He's been taking this before. There's all this crazy controversy over this. Some absolutely disgusting human beings are being like, GCW's the reason why he's dead. I'm like, there's a lot going on, Phil. And like, can we just like celebrate the legacy of what Sabu was and not his final moments?
Yeah. I hate when people do this as somebody that writes, where people take screenshots of an article and they don't actually link it back to the article. So all you see is the screenshots of certain parts.
You don't even know where it came from.
And so initially when I saw those and I was reading, I was like, oh, this sounds terrible. What is this? Where's this from? It's from this from Sabu Was Sabu Until the Very End by Phil Schneider for Uncrowned.
Right.
And from Joey's perspective, they did this piece and he did the interview 2 days after the match. And so from his point, he was just still working. He was still trying to sell the match and he was still trying to sell the lore of Sabu. But the timing of it coming out right after Sabu passed, it looked crazy. And I don't think that was his intent. And people trying to run with it and say that Janela and GCW drugged him and they killed him. It's like, there's too much we don't know. At the time, we didn't even know the cause of death. And so it was just too much to try to throw on him. I didn't think that was fair to Janela. And Janela was trying to say the whole time, like, look at this was my friend. I wanted to give him, I idolized this guy. I wanted to give him one last match. I wanted to give him a retirement match. And that's all this was. The stuff with the Kratos, like, I don't know enough about opioids and stuff, but
I don't know what that is.
That it's not what people think, and I think people are turning it into something it's not. It's the usual internet takes things and runs with it, and I don't think there's enough information here to make the accusations that people are making.
Right. I'm like, wait, everybody's jumping out the window immediately. We don't know anything.
It's a bit too much, but it did feel like a very Sabu way to go out in the business for his last match. We've heard the stories, like there's a crazy story of Sabu doing the table spots, and somebody recognizing that he had these huge knots on his legs, and they're like, why don't you just wear like kick pads under the genie pants? Nobody would know. And he was like, I would know. The boys would know.
That's what kind of guy he was. He would go out, like, it felt like the most Sabu thing in the world, like you're describing at the event. I'm like laughing about. I wasn't like, oh, Sabu's in danger. I was like, it's a set, like, this is Sabu. Like, I didn't feel like any moment that he was forced out there. I didn't feel like he was forced to do it. I'm like, this is Sab. What do you mean? What do you guys mean? Like, he's talked about historically for years, he's going to go out on his own time, on his own thing. If he's out there, he wants to be. And so people are like, GCW did it. They worked this. They had all these fans and they won. I'm like, you guys, please relax. It was just very unfortunate timing, like you're describing, Phil. For him, Joey did it like immediately after the match, and then the interview didn't come out until after Sabu passed away. So it felt like, well, why are you saying that? But he was saying it back then.
Yeah, of course, nobody knew that Sabu was going to pass away.
Right.
Just unfortunate all around. Some things I saw for the match did look very crazy. I'm like, maybe he should have been in there. I don't know, but that's not my call.
Hindsight, who really knows? Yeah, but at the night, I was like, oh my god, like jumping up and down. That was that when he sent up to the outside and he smacked his head. I was like, this is absolutely insane. But who knows? Wrestling is wrestling, and who knows anything that's really happened behind the scenes in that night and surrounding this. So to make those assumptions are kind of crazy. Just gonna say rest in peace to Sabu, an innovator, legend, absolutely insane person. To be able to be at his last match was feel honored to be a part of it as somebody that's so entwined with ECW young boy on my Mount Rushmore of ECW wrestlers. Sabu is smack dab right there. He defined a generation. So rest in peace to Sabu.
Yeah, it was great to see all the outpouring of love for him from other wrestlers and fans online, people coming forward with all their stories from. It was great to have Taz on commentary to give his well wishes and condolences. That was emotional to see because what he meant to Taz. But sad week, man.
The video that Taz did like immediately after finding out was emotional, and then the tribute that he did on Dynamite, man, just like Taz and Sabu, you guys do not understand. When they came on WWF TV in February of '97, and they did that thing where Sabu fell off the top of the Raw sign, and that's a lot of people's first memory of Sabu as him falling off that Raw sign. But they were building to this Sabu and Taz match, and I remember like Barely Legal, the first ECW pay-per-view, is like one of my favorite pay-per-views of all time. I've watched that show so many times, but like that show is defined by this year-long built match of Sabu and Taz. Like that, what my original ECW brain, like Sabu and Taz was everything. That was the feud. Those were the guys. That was the thing. And so Taz had such a deep connection to Sabu, and so for him to pay those, be able to pay those tributes this week was very important. And thanks to Taz for doing that, because that was hell of an emotion. I don't know if I would be able to do that on national TV like that.
Yeah. You could tell he was having a hard time. Great thing about Taz is Taz no matter what.
He's a pro.
Him struggling through it and then taking his glasses off and then finishing it, like,
incredible.
What a guy. But yeah, unfortunate. Again, rest in peace to Sabu. Condolences to all his family and friends. Very, very, I had a loss because very sad news to just come out of his retirement match, which, like I said, was less than a month ago.
Time is crazy as hell, man. It just like moves so quickly, as they say.
Yeah, we got to keep hearing the hardcore accordion music all week. I don't know why I don't know why his music sounds like accordion music to me. I guess it's supposed to sound like a sax, right?
Yeah. But it's like because they like produced it, so it's like fake sax. Probably that's probably what the thing is, because it wasn't really a dude jamming on the sax. I wish there was. Possibly. Did you play the saxophone on Sabu's entrance music? Chime in here.
It sounds kind of like accordion to me every time I hear it, man. Yeah, J-Roy saying he thinks it's supposed to be sitar. That makes sense too, based
Oh, that
on
makes
like his
sense.
gimmick. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at this. We're a saxophone.
We're black, Phil.
It sounds
we immediately go to jazz.
it sounds like that like saxophone noir music, like they have in like detective shows and movies and shit. Like it does.
The intro, and then they would really go to a guy playing the saxophone like on a random street corner, and you're like, no, he really playing that sax.
That's what feels like the Red Shoe Diary music. Saxophone.
Red Shoe Diary music. Man, we are grandpas. I haven't heard Red Shoe Diaries in so long, man. That's hella funny. There used to be some weird TV shows on, man. Red Shoe Diaries.
Yeah.
Good bit.
Send us your super chats.
I'm crying.
Humper chats where we get a bigger piece of the cut at humperchats.com/Fightful.
What a week, what a time, what a year. I'm on my other computer, so you gotta click on the super chats.
Here we go. See, we got one from Bragav.
Shout out to the homie Bragav who says, Happy Grapsody. Hope y'all are doing well. Member for 23 months. Man, the time was just flying by. I was just thinking, Phil, before the pod came on, because shout out to us, how consistent we've been. And like every Saturday, you're going to see your boys on here. And just how long it's been, man. Like it's coming up on what is 4 years? We've been going for 3.5 at this point, right?
Yeah, it'll be 4
in October.
Yeah, it'll be
right?
4 in October.
Dog, that is and like every Saturday, Phil and I are here talking, and I love like it just kept me so consistent. And like no matter, I've been done it in Bakersfield, I've done it out of town. Like it's just been such a consistent thing to me. But that's so long. I can't believe I don't know if I've ever done anything every single week for 4 years straight, besides like school, you know, and work.
Yeah,
boring work, not cool work like this. Chi-Town Spurs says, in honor of the Eastern Conference Finals, I thought throw on the Knicks versus Pacers 30 for 30, and it made me ponder something. Is Ricochet current character Reggie Miller?
There are similarities.
There are.
Ricochet on TV doing this, on Twitter continuing to do it. Very funny. Seeing Ricochet doing some shooting. Pew, pew, pew. I thought that was very funny.
There's been this week, Phil, some interesting headlines being created. Ricochet continues to, he can say it's a character, but there are very real shots in them tweets. But your homeboy Will Ospreay said a couple things this week that got people off of their game.
Nobody feeds these aggregator accounts better than Will Ospreay does.
Every time
that Will Ospreay interview hit the streets, boy, we know we're gonna have a day full of his quotes being all over the timeline.
Dog, line by line, it feels like. Phil, they're like, all right, he said this, and 3 minutes in, he said it this. But the thing that got people is Will Ospreay said that AEW blows WWE out of the water in every aspect. They can't see him in the ring. They're smoking him. There's a couple guys over there that could compete, but it's not a real competition. And Ricochet was like, yep, because that's what he does. How do you feel about these things? Because you're a friend of yours, a favorite of yours, Seth Rollins, has gone on to be like, this is the big show. Like, fuck, y'all are not doing what we do over here. Like, it's our territory. This going up for his company. How do you feel about Ricochet and Will Ospreay going up for their company?
I mean, I think they should. I think that's wrestling. You know, shots are going to be thrown back and forth between companies. That's how it goes. Like, and more than that, wrestlers are going to talk shit. That's how it goes. Like, it's fine. I don't mind any of that. And
people being mad at wrestlers for talking shit, Phil, gets me. Like, what?
It doesn't matter. It's just people just talking, bro. That's it. It's wrestling. People working.
And who is not going to say they're the best? Like who? Like what do you mean? Like, and my thing was also like, it's Ospreay saying it, so like Prove him
I mean,
wrong.
it's Ospreay. It's arguably the best wrestler in the world right now.
If anyone could say it, if anyone could be like, I'm smoking everybody in every place there is, it's Ospreay.
And we gonna tell the truth. There's nobody over there that can lace that guy's boots.
Come on. But that shouldn't even be a diss, like in anywhere.
That's just in ring right now. There ain't nobody wrestling over there like him right now. No. That's just the truth. And better is subjective, but like this guy's work rate right now, this guy's matches for the past, not even just the past year, like longer. No, ain't nobody doing. Yeah, nobody over there is doing that. And I just think it's two different products. Like,
right.
WWE doesn't put emphasis on that. AEW does. And so, of course, Will Ospreay, who is a big work rate guy, would go, hey, you guys want to see in-ring action? This is the place to see it. We out wrestling those guys. Of course, that's the product. The tagline of "We're the best wrestle." Yeah, that's all he's promoting. I didn't see a problem with it. No. Now, if you just disagree with him, these things are subjective. You can't disagree with him. But at the same time, I get it. It's just promotion. He's just working.
At the end of the day, he's promoting his company, Phil. Like, if everybody's like, oh, this is beef, he's throwing a shot. Like, really, he's saying, come and watch our show because we got hitters over here. That's what I got out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't dislike it when Rollins was doing it. I was like, no, I feel you.
I love
That's
it.
What you should do.
When Reigns gets on his shit, when he was talking before Punk had came in and he was like, I'm not thinking about that. I love that energy, man. Like, we doing this over there. I don't care what they doing over there.
It's the same thing we were just talking about with Rap Dog. Like, we cooking over here.
Dog. And my favorite is, Phil, all the people that be mad at it, they be like, the Monday Night Wars. I'm like, dog, that's what.
But that's what they were doing during the Monday Night Wars. They was shooting.
Monday Night Wars, emphasis on the wars, you guys.
They were shooting. I don't know. I don't know why people take offense to these kind of things and get mad. It's just wrestling.
Because they were all, this is why you're a fucking smart monkey. Well, I'm like, dog, why did...
Yeah, it got real weird. People
trying. There's weird energy around Ospreay though. They be talking, because he chose a side. But like, yeah, dude, what you?
They don't like when people be choosing sides, dog. They don't like that.
They don't like choosing sides over here.
They don't like that
at all. They chose a sides bit is become the funniest thing. That message that you sent me immediately after the pod last week killed me. Y'all chose a side. Now it's just concerning anything like I like croissants over bagels. Y'all chose a side.
Just how we be getting in trouble, man. Every time, man. This is how.
First. The homie Wildebeest says, go Sonics. I mean, Nugs or Wolves or Knicks or Pacers. Just anyone but OKC, please. I missed the 90s NBA, but pretty cool to see the Knicks versus Pacers again. Hoping to see Holly do a choke sign to Spike. LOL.
That would be very funny. I take it you're from Seattle and you just don't want OKC to win anything.
Sounds like it. I understand. I get it.
I get it, but it kind of feels like it's OKC's year. I don't know.
They just got that young energy that I want. When we're like, we need a new guard, like we need a new generation. They feel like the new generation. So them getting a win would be good for like the new generation. So I'm rooting for them.
Yep.
It's going to be tough though.
It's tough.
The homie James Zimmerman says, thanks for the show. Thank you, James. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being a part of our little journey up. Appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Yeah. It wasn't super chat. I saw someone earlier say, man, great hats. I'm like, man, listen, as a person, I feel like sometimes I became an adult and became Martin from the TV show because I have a ton of hats and like, like I'm always switching up hats. So, yeah.
Phil, I have become obsessed with Grapsody.bigcartel.com hat. Like I've been wearing this hat almost every day just because I started getting a lot of niggas in Oakland think this hat is hard. Like I've been getting so many compliments just walking on the street when people are like, oh, that's a dope hat. I'm like, yeah. Like they don't know what Grapsody is. They're just like, that's a cool hat. I'm like, my guy Phil, man. I told you, I'm like, get that dad hat. It's over, bro. I'm not taking it off. And here you go.
Hey man, Grapsody.bigcartel.
Let's go. Also, that hat you have on though is super dope though.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
First championship, man. That was our first championship. 1991. Can't take that away from us. They can't take what we built.
Yeah, we still hear about it almost every day. They make documentaries about it, the world, all the things. Coy Stallings, a friend of the show, says, Phil, are you going to go to the residency in Chicago for AEW?
Yeah, those sound really dope.
Where's that place?
That's like up on the north side. If you guys haven't seen, for context, AEW is gonna do, I believe, it's 6 shows at Aragon Ballroom up on the north side. It's like right down the street or across the street from the Riviera. It's like a famous concert place to see concerts here in Chicago.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, very excited for that. I did not go to Dynamite this week because I did not feel like making the commute to Hoffman Estates, but I will probably go to a bunch of those shows in July.
As soon as I saw Hoffman, I was like, oh, Phil is not going to be there. Unfortunate for AEW. But yeah, that's super exciting. I'm happy with AEW doing these kind of residencies because as we've seen, the energy around these have been great. And Chicago historically loves pro wrestling, so it should be amazing.
Yeah. One of the best sports towns ever. Like, just people's energy around sports. It don't matter if we're winning. They just don't care, man. They're looking for any reason to celebrate.
It's generational, like, because it's young kids are just like the old people. Like, everybody's just like rabid about sport. Whatever the sport is, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, soccer, pro wrestling, whatever it is, Chicago fans are like, yes, we will kill you for this. I love it.
Yes.
Busby, the respected man, says, Phil, Kendrick will respond in due time. Just be patient. Also, Daylight still has to respond, and he is going to make everybody uncomfortable.
No,
what does that thing say at the end, crew?
I'm sure that's like a emoji or something.
Oh.
No, Daylight is Daylight, man. He's going to come out, but I do think that people that are like, oh, Joey don't stand a chance against Daylight, I'm like, I don't know if I would say that just yet.
I definitely had some West Coast bias in there, but, you know, you have to. I'm from the West Coast.
Yeah, look, it is what it is, man. I feel it, but Joey, this was a strong attempt for this week of putting out finals right away, and
I loved it.
Bars on finals. I was like,
I've watched the Cypher like 10 times at this point. Like, it's one of my favorite things that I've seen like in a while.
Yeah.
Thanks, Busby. Hops88 says, if Jordan heard that someone were talking shit, he would destroy him regardless of the level of player. Dot needs to respond just to remind people. That's a good point. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
And if the point that Phil is making, Joey has been shooting for months at this point, and if every time Kendrick opened his phone, they're like, this fool shooting at you, eventually you should be like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah, even if you give him the whole subliminals or give him the whole like, oh, I got a few bars for you at the end of a record. Something.
See, you said, this is why I feel with Lindsey, that's why I like having hip hop conversations with you. You said the perfect name for this. Like, Hove was the master at that. Like, he would shoot at somebody and you'd be like, wait, what was this fool talking about? And like, that's exactly what it could be. Hove has something for everything.
Yeah, the other news this week of people just now figuring out that 4 p.m. in Calabasas is about Puff. It's very funny. There's so many things in it that are clear Puff references. I mean, the sample of the record, guys. Yeah, but this is coming off of the context coming from the Puff trial and Cassie telling the story of Puff jumping on her the night of them going to OVO Fest, and that gave context to the 4 p.m. in Calabasas record. And now when you listen to that record, I'm like, oh, this guy Drake is the sassiest guy ever.
You know, earlier, Phil, when we were talking about basketball and hip hop, I was like, what else has been occupying my brain this week? And I was like, but there's for some reason I don't want to talk about it. And then as soon as you said Diddy, I was like, oh yeah.
He's cooked. That guy is done.
He's cooked. Every new thing that comes out, the Cassie testifying and the stuff that came out of this, I'm like, oh my brain. I'm young. I don't want to read this. Leave me out of the group chat.
Reason referenced it in his his diss, and he was like, "Y'all on some nut shit over there," which is a reference to some stuff that was said that Diddy was apparently doing with semen, which is disgusting.
I was uncomfortable reading about it.
Yeah, very
Like,
disgusting.
what did he like to do? No, I don't want to. I don't want to know. Why are we hearing this?
Disgusting. Yeah.
But yeah, get him out of there, put him under the jail, and let's finish this up.
Yeah, sounds very similar to some of the Vince stuff, like the accusations of sex trafficking and like coercing and stuff.
You make
a similar.
Great point, Phil, because I've seen a lot of people that have been defending Vince the same way that they defend Vince, the same way they've been defending Diddy, and I'm like, this is eerily similar and familiar, kind of weird.
Yeah, people trying to turn it into, oh, he was just on some freak shit. Like, no,
no, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. I've been seeing a lot of that too. Oh, he's just on some freak. Oh, he freaky like me. I'm like, nah.
No,
dude,
I mean, besides the sex trafficking stuff that's in there that sounds pretty bad, we have video of him assaulting this woman.
Y'all keep it, and they released the uncut, longer version this week, and I'm like, do people just keep forgetting about that part? Because when they're like, "Oh, he's just a freak," I'm like, dog, it's way beyond him just being a freak, dog. It's not just about the freak off shit he was doing, dog. Come on.
Yeah. Well, wishes to Cassie having to go up there and relive some of this stuff, and having to put some of your most embarrassing moments out in the public where your family and friends is going to read that. That can't be easy.
Yeah, I hope she's having an okay time dealing with this, and her husband are okay, because this is a crazy time. You brought up Vince McMahon, Phil, and your boy, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Mr. John Cena, just can't pass up a moment to not be like, this guy did so much to, like, he can't just be like, I'm good, no comment. He has to be like, no, you guys have to know what he did for me. And like, Cena, we know, dude.
We don't need it. It's cool. We know. You
know.
So that's fine.
Why does he keep he keeps hammering it? He's like, hey, no, I need you guys to know what Vince McMahon did. Like, dude, it's fine.
Not the time.
Not the time. And Carmella did it this week too. I'm like, Carmella, I don't wanna.
Yeah.
I don't wanna. The homie Deontay Soignier with a very generous super chat. Appreciate you, Deontay. Says DPW limit break, best of the Super Juniors, and I'm having a bonfire and crawfish boil this weekend. Man, it's getting lit over there. WWE has been a ride this year, going to be 31 in 10 days. I am so excited for Double or Nothing. Sky Blue is back. Mina is here. AEW has been killing all love, y'all. Deontay, man, it sounds like you're going to have an amazing weekend. Wish I was coming to that bonfire and crawfish boil. That sounds lit. Going to be 31. Big 30, getting into the 30 club. My mid 30s is when I really started to see things clearly, as they say, Philip Lindsey. So anytime somebody asks me about the 30s, I'm always like, it was good for me. I hope it's the same for you, you know?
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that someday.
Birdie's still out.
Birdie's still out on that, man. But yeah, man, happy birthday. If we don't talk to you before then, well, you said 10 days, so we should.
10 days.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Deontay. Hope it's all great.
Get one last super chat.
The homie Meet Normus says, what's good? The draft lotto was broken and fixed at the same damn time. Why in the frozen envelope would they bail out Nico? Done with my Wizards rant. Yeah, the draft lottery stuff this week, Phil, and the Dallas Mavericks still winning some way, and people again being like, this is WWE. I'm like, it be looking like it sometimes, man.
Yeah, the timing is definitely crazy. That trade happens, and all of a sudden these guys still end up getting the number one pick. Boy, did I have a good time laughing at more than one thing. And this is why you guys always put a battery in my back, and then you'll be like, oh, but you hate the Lakers. You guys make this too easy for me to do.
So
this.
Easy.
You guys make this too easy. You guys coping still over that Josh Giddey shot and going, ha, you guys won that game, and now you don't have the number one pick. You guys are a poverty franchise. Hey, cool. We still beat you guys 2 years, two games in a row.
Yep. You're right.
Doesn't matter.
And Dallas is still going to get a dope white boy as their star of their team.
Hey, it would have been cool if we could have got the number one pick. If we could have got Cooper Flag, great. But are you going to turn this into, you guys were kikiing that night? Yeah, I was, because it was funny. Totally. It was hilarious. It's still funny. I'm sorry. It's still very funny.
Hilarious. It's great. It's amazing. This story is like, what is every twist and turn? I'm like, what? How is this? How did they do that? I'm like, they did it.
To add to this, you guys, this guy coming out and laughing at them getting the #1 pick. I keep telling y'all, this guy acts like Drake. This guy acts exactly like Drake. He's gonna come out and now he's gonna do the same thing. Like, look, the bots. The Kendrick is using the bots, dog. You benefited from things that you're saying happened.
If I'm Anthony Davis, if I'm Anthony Davis and I see that laughing emojis tweet, I'm breaking my phone in half. Like, I'm LeBron, let's meet and fight, because you keep trying to play this oblivious, I don't know about this stuff, but everything is so funny. What's so funny?
Dog.
What is so funny?
So you guys will understand the context. He's laughing because when he did that interview with Pat McAfee, he said that the draft is rigged, and he referenced, Cleveland getting the #1 pick, and some of these situations where it was too good to be true, and so it didn't happen again. So that's what he was laughing at. But my thing is, this very thing that you're saying is rigged, it's benefited you. It's worked out for you, and so. I don't know, man. He's a funny guy, man.
Like, I remember watching his high school basketball games on ESPN, and him being there's documentaries and all this stuff before he even got to the NBA. Like, all the stuff that he talks about is rigged, and the things that, like, this is all stuff that they had laid out for you. I don't get it.
Yeah. Jose is asking, what do you think? What do we think is going to happen with Giannis? I definitely think Giannis's days in Milwaukee are numbered.
He's up out of there.
It's only a matter of time. There's some good places for him to land. I don't know. Maybe he's going to head to Texas. Houston could use him. San Antonio could use him.
He like the Bay Bridge. Does he like Oakland, California? Does he like San Francisco, California? Is he interested? Do you like it over here? It's breezy.
I don't know if you guys can afford it.
It's too hot. No, we definitely can't afford him.
Yeah, but Miami, that's another spot. He got a good few landing spots.
Good for him. He should land somewhere good and get a big, gigantic bag.
Yeah, on the basketball talk before I hop into our Humper chats. Former co-host was saying that let me add the context to this as well. They're still doing these Mount Rushmore things on Twitter. And so someone did the Mount Rushmore of most influential basketball players. And so Mark Lamont Hill was like, Kobe over Iverson? Really? And our friend and our co-host was like, yeah, because he is more influential. And I was like, oh, no, he's not. No, he's not.
It's a tough one.
Is it?
Because I hear a lot of current players be like, Kobe. Like, I base my game off Kobe.
I don't know, man. When you look at the culture around basketball, like, at one point, the best player in the world was in that bus listening to Kenny Chesney. That was basketball players. That was older guys. The guy that brought basketball, the guy that brought basketball to youth and brought hip hop to basketball, that brought culture to the league, that was Iverson, dog. The guy that brought that changed the way basketball players looked, the way basketball players were marketed, that was Iverson, dog. The guy that came out with a rap album as a ball player, that wasn't a thing. Kobe did a rap album as a ball player like him. Not the other way around. Man, when you look at guys like Dame today, that's because of what Iverson did. Iverson took all the slings and arrows at that time and got hated. So some of your faves could be who they are today. Like, man, LeBron.
Yeah.
Wear the sleeves, tatted up, big hip hop guy, all of that influenced by Allen Iverson, man.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think when it comes to I think Iverson changed the culture of the entire sport more than Kobe did. So,
yes,
I think if it comes down to like player, yeah. If it comes down to like player, that could be a different conversation. But my hat was backwards. I had on the answers. I was like, Allen Iverson was life. Like, it was different. You're right, 100%.
That guy, dog. Like, there's too many guys that like, man, Melo. Like, too many guys.
The most egregious thing about that was LeBron was on that specific Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into whether
influential. I'm like,
people are not gonna like my take on that, so I will move on to my thought that if you're gonna put him and Curry on there, but not put Iverson on there, that's egregious because both of those guys are very much influenced by Iverson.
Definitely, 1,000%. I would think I would put Kobe and Iverson on there over Kobe or Iverson. Is my thing.
Yeah, I can see that, but that's why I'm like, I don't know, man.
I wouldn't put LeBron on mine if we're talking influence, because like I don't really. I think a lot of people play like I'm trying to get you in trouble, I guess. So we can move forward. Because I'm with you, you know.
Yeah, I just think there were different eras. Mike's era was Mike's era. After Mike's era, the guy that changed everything, because like I said, Jordan changed the way basketball players were marketed. He kicked open doors for all of these, sneaker deals and all of these things. Mm-hmm. The next guy that changed that and changed the way that ball players would market it was Iverson.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, dog, one of my favorite wrestlers is about to get a pair of Iversons, man. He ain't about to get a pair of Kobe's.
That's a fact.
I'm just saying. Listen.
Yeah, there was a time when I loved I was a kid and I loved pro wrestling. It was everything in the world to me. But Iverson and Ken Griffey Jr. were like, you couldn't tell me nothing about those guys, man. They were fucking life, brother.
You had to be there in the 2000s, dog. Mm-hmm. Iverson was huge and
gigantic.
In the 2000s, bro.
You would go to school and everyone had a shoe on in different colors. Like there was a time when it was like, damn, we all have this shoe. We're all wearing this.
Dog, that jersey and dog, you saw that jersey everywhere. Mm-hmm. Braids. I had braids at that time, dog.
Yeah, me too. I definitely had braids because of Iverson. Iverson and Mystical. Damn, why does Mystical have to be so horrible?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is it, the braids?
Yeah, no. I saw a lot of people that just in our 2 or 3 responses back, they were like, "Dang, this should be happening on the pod." I'm like, "Yeah, man. Look, if he wanted to come on here and argue that point that Kobe is more influential, he's more than welcome." But I totally disagree. I totally disagree.
Now, when you break it down like that, I'm with you.
Like, there's too many guys that. I mean, we're in a era of point guards and like score first point guards.
Shaq was on that list.
He wasn't on there. No.
What was that? What? I'm like, and all these players are like from the last, like that's where the list thing gets messed up. You know, when you say of all time, but you only include players from this you know what I mean? These generations or whatever.
I just don't think you can, even if you don't want to boil it down to who is more influential, Kobe or Iverson. I don't think you can have a top 5 list of the most influential basketball players and not have Iverson on there.
You can't.
You can't.
Mm-mm. If we're talking influence, because he influenced a fucking generation. I was in it.
No, bro. I remember where I was when he crossed Jordan, dog. Yeah. No. No way, dog. That at one point crossing somebody over was synonymous with one guy.
Yeah, when he crossed over Jordan, you would have thought the fucking heavens opened up, like niggas was going crazy.
It was like watching Michael Jackson do the moonwalk for the first time. It was like, bro, what's going on here? Like, wait, that's like
you're a little bit confused about it. Huh? You're like, wait, what?
Yeah,
he did that to who?
In his rookie year.
Could you imagine being a rookie? They're like, you're gonna face Jordan tonight, and you're like, I'm gonna cross him over.
See that's just another one where we get into that. We get into that rap conversation. I was an Iverson guy. There was man. Mm-hmm. I remember that All-Star game where he was going off, and that was Jordan's last All-Star game, and he hit that shot at the end. I was like, nah, dog. Nah. Like, listen, man, I fuck with Kobe, but nah. In
Kobe
2000,
never was, for me at least, he never was the coolest guy in the world. And there was a time where Iverson was the coolest guy in the entire world. There wasn't anybody cooler than him.
Yeah. To a whole generation, that guy was the coolest basketball player in the world.
AI.
Yeah, man. Those shoes do look dope, though. Shout out to Swerve. Those are dropping soon. Those look fire.
Super dope that's the collaboration with Iverson and what that represents. It's just it's so great. So happy about that. Those are going to be dope.
Listen, man. Keep having this thing of the internet slandering this guy and being mad at him. And then I get to be the guy that is a fan of so many things that this guy is linked to. It's just like when he came out with the Static gear. I was like, listen, what Static meant at a time when I was a kid is the same thing with Iverson. It's like, nah, you're not going to tell me this girl not doing nothing for the culture. I don't want to get into it, but
Iverson, Swerve, Killmonger. It's like, Phil, here.
And that's the gear when he won the championship.
This guy, not for the culture though. Just like,
listen, man,
I'm full.
It's
all for him, for nobody else.
There's some other black wrestlers. If they did that, there would be a pedestal that they would be placed on that I don't feel like he's being placed on. We'll leave it at that.
I was gonna say, I remember that energy around when they announced Roman was gonna get a Jordan. I just wanna. Hey, man. You remember that, Phil? You remember that?
Yeah. Hey, man. Yeah, get Swerve on sneaker shopping. They should get him on for the shoe release or something.
Wasn't Undertaker on one? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, he was on there. Yeah. Yeah, get him on sneaker shopping. Complex. Joe LaPuma. I don't know that. I doubt Joe LaPuma watches our podcast, but get him on sneaker shopping.
He's watching right now like, I want to book him.
That's a good idea.
This is how we discovered that Joe LaPuma loves Grapsody.
I might know a guy that might have him contact. So
all right.
I don't know.
Get Grapsody on sneaker shopping if that's what we're doing.
Listen, I buy enough shoes. Like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. From Tony P, he says, I got a long WWE rant coming, so I will get the goodies out the way. I can't believe I'm saying this, but thank you, Knicks. I still fuck with fuck the Knicks. But you beat Boston. I still hope you or Indy loses in the finals, though, against the Nuggets or the Wolves. Yeah, a lot of people hate Boston, man. I saw a lot of Lakers fans celebrating. I saw Heat fans celebrating. They hate Boston, huh?
A lot of people praying on their demise, and this was a good week for them. They couldn't wait. I was like, I thought there was more hatred for the Knicks, but no, it doesn't look like it. It seems like there's a lot of hatred for Boston out here.
Yeah, I wasn't from that generation of hating Boston. My dad is one of those guys that either you were a Lakers fan or you're a Boston fan. Yeah. And a lot of black people were Lakers fans. They hated Boston, so he don't like Boston.
Our homie Dart Adams gets so upset when people are like, well, it's because of the racism, and he's like, don't say that about Boston. Shout out to the homie Dart Adams. Think we could do an interview with Dart Adams?
Yeah. Maybe.
I think that'd be kind of hard. Yeah, we come from that generation that's like right behind that. We're from the Jordan generation, so Celtics weren't really chapping our hide.
That's also why I was never a Lakers fan. My dad at one point was a Lakers fan, but I came along when the Bulls were good. So
your dad was a Lakers fan?
Yeah, at one point
when everybody was, right? It seemed like there's only
this was pre-expansion. This was when this was like right after like Boston and Lakers made the league global. Like they changed everything. Well, not global, national. They made basketball into like a big thing. And so you had to pick a side. Either you were a Magic guy or you were a Bird guy. And my dad was a Magic guy.
Magic. Damn. I was a little too young, but I remember the Magic craze and what the thing was. Different time. Basketball, man, it's had some phases.
Yeah.
Magic. Is there a Lakers versus Celtics basketball video game or something like that? I remember just constantly seeing those two names together,
Yeah, I believe, isn't it? Yeah, that was the whole licensing issue with basketball. But
it was so the most frustrating thing for our generation of licensing in basketball is Jordan never licensed his likeness to anybody for like any of the 90s games and for like a lot of the early 2000s games. So it'd just be like special player, bald player number 23. And it's like, I want to be Jordan.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of there was the Jordan versus Bird basketball game. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I know I remember that one. But yeah, no.
I'm just thinking of how much money Jordan did not want because he would have been on every cover ever if he was like, yeah, I'll do it. Why did he not want that bag?
He made it back. He's fine.
I mean, definitely.
He's totally fine.
More than fine. Did you ever watch that movie that they put out? What was it? The one about the Jordans?
But Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
No.
I thought you were about to bring up that made-for-TV Jordan movie.
No.
Yeah. If you guys haven't seen it, there's like a made-for-TV Jordan biopic. It's terrible.
Yes. No, I'm not talking about. I think I watched that on like VH1. VH1 used to always have the weird biopics on there.
Yeah. I haven't seen that movie yet. I've heard it good. You're talking about Air, right?
Air. That's what it's called.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I don't know why I randomly thought about that biopic, which was god awful.
Hilarious, so bad. On that Dennis Rodman one they did one time too. God, awful.
Rodman was horrible. The Michael Jackson one, which is awful bad.
Oh my God, with Flex. Every time I see pictures of that, I've never seen like video or the movie itself, but every time I see like clips of it, I'm like, what were they thinking? How did this happen? How did they get away with this? The internet. We weren't on the internet like that back then.
Yeah, I don't know how that was ever made, but it was bad.
Because now, as soon as he would be like, I'm about to be Michael Jackson, everybody would be like, no, you're not.
Yeah. Here, let's look this up because now it's in my brain. Michael Jordan, An American Hero, was the name of the movie.
Yes. I remember there's like a scene of him like shooting at night in front of his house or some shit. It's almost like the same scene in Space Jam, I think.
Starring Michael Jace as Michael Jordan.
Yep.
Debbie Allen was in it. That's right. Ernie Hudson was in it.
Yes.
Robin
Ernie
Givens was his wife. Yep. Bad movie.
Awful. God awful. Nice cast though. They had some hitters in that.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Michael Jace?
He did some of the police shows. Like he was on Shield and what else was he in?
Michael Jace.
Oh, and he's in jail from
that guy. Yeesh.
Sentenced to 40.
Yeah.
We went down a
hole.
We went down another rabbit hole. Let's not.
As soon as I saw his picture, I was like, "Oh, that guy."
Humper chats. That
took a turn.
Yeah, Tony P though. Tony P said after Penny of the Week, the CEO posted a suitcase with a watermelon, and I didn't know what that shit meant. Then when it was playing, she came in the arena with it. The day she walked out with Naomi, I started dying. Plus her attack on the Zoomy on Wednesday, the CEO of pettiness. Yeah, if you don't remember, that was the infamous day that she was filmed walking into the arena with that watermelon. Yeah, I don't know why she had a watermelon, but yeah, she put the watermelon in her bag, and like that picture, of course, coincided with people reminding us that was 3 years ago when they walked out.
Damn, that's crazy. She was about to eat that watermelon, I guess. Like she's about to.
She was like, "No, I'm taking my watermelon with me."
Right, don't slice it or nothing. I just want that thing whole.
I guess she bought it somewhere. in the city.
On the way.
I would love to know the story behind this watermelon.
Please tell us the story behind how you got the watermelon, Mercedes.
Yeah, but no, there's a video of her like walking in with it like in her arms. So I remember that specifically.
Yep, I do remember that too. Whatever happened to the watermelon? Was it thrown at someone?
No, she put it in her suitcase when she left. She took her watermelon home with her.
Damn, she took her watermelon and ran. That's crazy.
No, y'all don't appreciate me or my fruit here. I'm leaving.
I'm gone. And where's my watermelon? Move out of the way.
Yeah.
The CEO. She's doing great now, you know?
Yeah. I think both of them are doing better since then. Much better.
Agreed.
More from Tony P. He says, I can't judge for myself now because dork ass fans were being fucking dorks. When Rico came out at All In, I wasn't feeling his theme, but I knew the crowd was drowning it out. But when I heard it alone, it was a bop. I wish I could do the same for her too. I'm sorry. I skipped one. He says, speaking of that match, Mina's music. That shit with TK and Ruckus was funny, but I feel sad for Mina. If you think about it, she wanted to do something fresh, and we really didn't have a chance to hear the song without the crowd noise. People were saying it wasn't bad. Then he said, I can't judge for myself now because dork-ass fans were being fucking dorks. When Ricochet came back, when Rico came out at All In, I wasn't feeling his theme, but I knew the crowd was drowning it out. But when I heard it alone, it was a pop. I wish I could do the same for her too. Well, we don't know that we've heard the end of this theme song.
Right. That was just for that day, right?
We might hear it again.
Mm-hmm.
I did think everything around it was very funny because I was very confused at first. It kind of sounded like a Def Rebel song at first with like the tag at the beginning. I was like, what's happening here? It's like she came out, Mina now. And I was like, wait, what's happening now? I was like looking around in the house, like, wait, what?
You said that.
And then she's like, why don't you want Mina? And I was like, but I think we do want Mina.
Well, we do a lot.
I'll give her this though. Her dance was hard though.
Her dance was kill. See, that's why I didn't even know about the song, Phil, because we were, of course, on stream with Denise, and so Denise was like doing the dance. I was like mesmerized by her doing the dance, and I didn't even notice that she had a new song, and I was like, damn, she just killed that. But then, like thinking back to it, I was like, wait a second. I think as the match is going on, I was like, that song that she was dancing to though was different than the song that she usually comes out, and then that led us to us discovering it's essentially a cover of the Don Omar song, and so immediately online, Phil, people didn't like it, but I didn't even hear it all the way. Like, how do you know that you don't like it without it cooking it?
Y'all didn't really give it a chance. People like the other one so much that they don't like change. You know how wrestling fans are. But I didn't mind it. I thought it was fine. I just was like, wait, what's going on? I was just confused by the whole demo. And I mean, everything about it, her doing the dance, it cut back to Tony, and Tony was getting her little ditty in. I was like, oh, okay.
It's kind of hard. I harkened it back to Mercedes. The first time that I heard the CEO song, I was like, you know what? Maybe not for me. Last time I was in an arena when CEO went off, you would have thought that I was on that song. I was like, this song is hard.
I fuck with it. I fuck with bars on there and everything.
I'm saying, listen, the first time I was like, why is Mercedes rapping? Now I'm like, Mercedes is spitting, nigga, get out the way. Like, you just have to let, sometimes you just got to let it develop. You got to let something happen. Like, we don't know if this is a hot song for Mina yet because we didn't even get a chance to.
Yeah, I mean, well, the funny thing about it is people were mad at Ruckus. Ruckus did not produce this.
Ruckus didn't even do it.
This was Mina bringing in a song of her own, and I believe it's out there. Wasn't it the same person that worked on the CEO record?
I was gonna say there are a lot of similarities to this because we've heard that the same person that produced the CEO for Mercedes is the person that produced the thing for Mina. So that's why I'm like, well, I want to hear it now. What happened? Like, let me see what the actual song is.
It very much feels like they were trying to go for the same thing of creating a chant off of the beginning of it and using the chorus of it. That's why I was like, what is this Mina now thing? What is this? But I think it was supposed to translate to turning into a chant, and maybe it could still work. That's why I'm like, I think people got to give it a chance, but
I don't think it's the end. It shouldn't be the end. We got to at least try it.
I did think it was very funny that people were like, "See, he listens to us." So I was like, "But."
Thought I was gonna get in trouble for my tweet that I tweeted after that. Tony Khan, when it comes to getting the theme, he's on it. Tony Khan, when it comes to the main event, sleeping. Y'all need a theme change? Hey, change that theme right now. The people are recommending it. They will not let it. We cannot continue the show till that theme's change. Hey, what about the main event? What main event?
Y'all like the Death Rider stuff? Yeah, you sure? Look, here's some numbers. You sure you don't like it? He's drawing. Look,
but
look
the numbers are showing that you like it. The numbers say you like it, though. I'm like, I don't like this. The numbers say, though. What numbers, though?
Oh, yeah.
But that theme, no, change that shit right now. I will not move forward.
Put our old theme on. We got our own theme on a hard drive. Put that on.
In record time. It was just fun. I was like, that's hilarious.
And then admitted that that's what he did. He got straight on Twitter, was like, "Yep, I changed it."
I'm like, people are going so far. I'm like, this at the surface, this is fucking hilarious, you guys. You got on Twitter to be like, "Yep, I did do that."
Yeah, that was me. I turned it off. Nah, I'm not giving them the aux cord again. Nope.
I turned it off as well.
No,
yeah, it was me. I turned it off.
It was me. They'll never get an aux cord again. Ever.
Tony came in, pulling the cords out, putting his own phone in. No, I'm gonna show y'all how to do this.
Oh
yeah, it was me. I turned it off. It's the funniest shit I ever heard.
Yeah, but we did get a lot from Dynamite. It was a good show, I thought. Opening with the tag match was smart. These guys work really well. No shocker there. We did the can they coexist with Hangman and Ospreay, but I thought it worked. I thought it worked for what they did. The hidden blade spot they did where they lingered on it for a minute, like it's serious business.
Will they or won't they? There's some controversy with that this week. People are tweeting about if anime has a place in wrestling because they felt like that spot specifically where Ospreay slid in with the hidden blade and him and Hangman had that stare down was an anime inspired thing, and then that led to somebody being like, "Get anime fans out of wrestling, get video game fans out of wrestling." I'm like, what the fuck do you think wrestling?
Is that where that came from? Because I got on Twitter. Oh, okay, I got on Twitter one day and I saw anime fans arguing with wrestling fans, and I was like, "What's happening here? What started this?"
Because the homie Eric, I'm so sad I can't remember his last name. The wrestler, the former wrestler, he retired. He tweeted that he's kind of chill on that anime spots in wrestling because that felt like an anime spot. But he had like a breakdown because he's a former wrestler, and so people took that as like, we need to tell you all the reasons why anime has its place in wrestling, and these are all the references. And then that led to the guy being like, "Y'all are all dumb." Fuck you.
Because I saw people responding to the one guy that was like, "Get anime nerds out of this fandom," and I was just like, I don't know how to break this to you, but this fandom is full of nerds.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, wait, what is this guy saying? And he's like, video game nerds. I'm like, wait, what do you think this is?
You mean all of the wrestling fans that have been begging for No Mercy to come back for 20 years? You mean those? You get those nerds out? Okay.
And like, get the anime people out? You mean like most of the people here? What? What do you mean?
Yeah. I thought the tag match was really fun. They're cooking with these tag matches. The build for Ospreay Hangman has been phenomenal.
Has anything changed, or is Ospreay still winning this without anything?
I still think he's winning. I still have my reservations about the way the Hangman is being booked, but when they had that segment and Ospreay came out and said, "This isn't about your redemption arc. This is about my ascension," I was like, "Oh yeah, he's winning.
That's hard. He's
winning. That's the bar right there. He's winning."
I feel the Hangman shit is so crazy, Phil, because it's like it feels like it doesn't matter how he's booked. Like I get frustrated about his booking because I feel like fucking this guy should be the guy. But then every time you see him, it's like the fans don't care. None of this matters. Like long as they just put him on TV and put him in a presentable spot, it's going to be great. But I do wish that like he was the world champion or some shit. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just still crazy to think he hasn't been champion since 2022. That's crazy. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Punk beat him at Double or Nothing 2022.
3 years?
Mhm.
What?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, he should have been world champion again by now.
What? my mind is legit blown. I'm like, damn, Moxley's had like 3 reigns since then. What the fuck is going on here? What?
This is
Why?
what I'm telling you. This is what I'm telling you. Every time I say he should have been world champion again by now, people are like, well, what? Why? And I'm just like, dog, it's been 3 years.
3 entire years and Hangman hasn't sniffed the belt. We are doing something is going wrong here.
Yeah.
Damn, you really blew my mind with that. That's a crazy stat. And like I'm saying, it still doesn't even matter. Like if he was the world champion tomorrow, we're blasting off. We're off to the races. Like he's still going to continuously be in that position. So him being in there with Ospreay, I think represents something good. I just wish the writing wasn't so on the wall, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think that the way they're booking it is good so far. I think the build has been good. I love that we're getting a first time matchup like this at Double or Nothing. And I think the match is going to be heat. So
the match is going to be absolutely insane for sure. I was frustrated on the stream because I didn't necessarily love the structure of the match because I thought Takeshita they kind of were like playing with Takeshita for bits of it. And I was like, I don't know if Takeshita is this, but I understand it wasn't about what I was focusing on. I'm like, why does Takeshita have to be the one getting beat up? But that's just me being crazy.
Yeah, I feel it. I get you.
Yeah,
but yeah, love this matchup. Love this match.
Josh Alexander. Just being
Hooper.
immediately slotted in there, just feeling like he belongs here. It's been amazing.
Yeah, Hooper. I was sitting watching this match like that. I probably could have made the trek out to the Hoffman if I wanted, but it's cool.
I want to hear your thoughts about the cage match, so I'm gonna see if that same feeling is.
See, why you bringing up old stuff, man?
We haven't got to the cage match yet.
Yeah.
But Ospreay is Ospreay. We are on the road. Next week is Double or Nothing. It's crazy because
it came fast.
I've been so synonymous, I feel, because it's been in Vegas, and like this year it's not in Vegas, so it feels weird.
Yeah, I damn near was like looking to like, oh wait, are we going back to Vegas? And I was like, oh, we're not.
You're not. Yeah. Damn, I liked our Memorial Day weekend turn up. That was a good time, but we did legit just come from Vegas. We just talked about coming from Vegas.
Yeah, the MVP Hurt Syndicate MJF stuff ended up being really good as well. Mm-hmm. Multiple things about this were funny. Them coming backstage and going, man, I can't wait, Max. And he's looking around like, wait, you can't wait for what? And he's thinking they're going to jump him. Yeah. And Renee is looking like, well, good luck tonight, pal.
Everybody he was looking side to side like, damn, they're definitely going to jump me.
Hilarious. And the fact that everybody was kind of like, yeah, can't wait to see this happen to you, Max. Couldn't happen to a better guy. When he was trying to hide backstage, and Tony's immediately like, "Yep, over here. He's right here.
He's right here.
Right here." Sheldon.
I've seen that particular moment happen in school where a fool was hiding, and they're like, "Nope, he's right here." I'm like, "Damn, don't dime him out. He's trying to hide." But Max playing that little role for that amount of time, I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, the fact that they've gotten this thumbs up thing over at this point. That's great. Again, the song continues to be very over. No shocker there, but I thought this segment was really good. Shelton standing behind them, posing like he's getting ready to super kick Max into oblivion, and he ends up getting the thumbs up anyway. I still think this is a swerve. I still think something is going to happen here, and Max is not going to end up in the group. Even the stuff with him talking about, oh, I had to go over it with my lawyer, and it ends up being Mark Sterling, and MVP was not feeling that, and he was like, well, what? Would you sign something without having your lawyer read it? And he's like, yeah, but yeah.
No, MVP didn't like that at all. He hated that energy. And Bobby Lashley is still, I don't like his energy still kind of surrounding
I don't like his energy.
Yeah, I don't like his energy surrounding that. I'm like, he's about to do something bad. Max is playing it up too much too. I'm like, no, this is not great. We're still kind of talking about what this could be. Cedric Alexander has been in the news and in the talk. And Phil, there's been a lot of talks surrounding Cedric Alexander, who I think is officially now a free agent from WWE. But a lot of people are like, oh, he would never go to AEW because of previous engagements. But, I saw a clip this week of him on Chris Van Fleet's podcast. And Cedric Alexander, the feeling was not what the internet was giving up. So Chris asked him about joining the Hurt Syndicate, and Cedric was essentially like, I can't wait. You know what I mean? Like, when can I show up?
Yeah, it feels like them bygones have been bygones at this point.
Bygones are bygone by now.
Yeah, because he was definitely like, I felt like
bygones.
He definitely was like, I wanted to see this flourish in front of a live crowd, and we never got a chance to do that. All this stuff we've been saying about Hurt Business from the beginning.
That's what I was thinking. Phil, I was like, damn, this is like what Phil and I have been saying is what Cedric is saying in this. That's crazy.
Yeah, so he very much seems like, he has unfinished business here. He still wants to do this with the guys. He didn't seem opposed to coming to AEW at all. He just seemed like, if the business was right. He even talked about talking it over with Swole. So seems like it's a big possibility that Cedric could be the fourth guy in his group.
And I think they need, because they're not that they're active, like they're wrestling a lot, but I think they need a guy that's going to be ready to go on the money all the time, and that's Cedric. So like Cedric is going to look amazing in that. I saw he's had a couple matches already since returning, and so I'm like, I don't know if he's going to play any part in this Max stuff, but super intrigued as to where this is all going.
Yeah, because I don't think this ends here. I don't think this is just them voting him in and that's the end of the story.
I mean, it could be over as early as next week with this contract signing, so I guess we'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, Max seems like he's having fun doing this. He seems motivated. This is worlds better than the Jared stuff that we were in the midst of a few months ago. So
wow. Every time I think about a random thing Max was previously doing, I'm like, because I thought you were going to say the Joker stuff. You could have went any direction with that, Phil. That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, enjoyed that. Enjoyed the women's match, as Tony P talked about. I was wondering where we were going with this eliminator thing, because Tony has been doing the eliminator matches every week now. I know it was a way to keep Tony on TV and to give her matches, and as a babyface, she's gonna wrestle more. I got all of that. So I was like, okay, is anybody ever going to win one of these eliminator matches? And sure enough, this felt like the setup because they gave us the fatal four-way. So I was like, okay, somebody's just going to pin someone other than Tony. No, Mina.
Just like the Mercedes thing kind of felt like
the
three-way. Yeah,
Mina actually pinned Tony here. I thought that was a great move. I thought that was a way to show that they're already invested in Mina. I thought the match was good.
Yeah, I saw people, AEW fans specifically, feel kind of growing frustrated with this eliminator concept. It's like, well, if you're going to keep doing it, is it ever going to lead to anything? And so them kind of upping it for Tony the last couple of weeks, I was like, well, this got to have to lead to something. She's not going to just keep beating everybody in every match. And so when they had announced this match, Mina's in there. Azumi's, who's just off this hot triple threat with Mina and Mercedes, and a returning Sky Blue. It's like, there's no way that Tony could leave this match having beat all these women. There has to be a line somewhere. And so the Mina thing happens with the music, but that doesn't matter because these women all come in and they start cooking. Mina has this different kind of confidence in the AEW ring because of the way that the fans accept her, and she feels super comfortable just in this space, and she was having a great time in this match. Tony is she continuously gets better, Phil. I think that's what's weird and crazy about this whole thing. Is like she could just be content. She could just be like, I'm the champ. I did a lot of work to get here, and I could just cruise. She's not cruising. Like, she's still having hard-hitting ass matches. Her promos are still on fire. Like, she's leveling up her character like as the days go by.
Yeah. I think what it is with Mina is the Japanese crowd and the US crowd is just different. And you could see like the American crowd is more vocal. And so you could see she plays off of that crowd more. And I think that that's part of what she was going for with the theme music. Then that's why I wouldn't be surprised if we haven't seen the last of it.
Give it a chance, you guys.
Yeah, I think they could tweak it. I personally don't think it needs both audio tags. Like, just put the Mina Now part at the beginning, and then you don't need the quote afterwards.
They can't get their DJ drama tag off before they get there. Not
it did have that like, don't. It did have that kind of drama like Timbaland production to it, didn't it?
It did. I'm like, wait, who produced that? Let me hear it though. Maybe I need to go back and listen to it because I just was laughing at what the aftermath of it was. But I'm like, let's maybe give Mina a chance because when I heard that she specifically worked with the people too, and like she had a hand in it, I'm like, well, damn, we really should give it a chance if she was that invested in it. It wasn't just like a song she picked from random song generator or whatever, you know?
Yeah, that's why I don't think this is the last we'll hear of it.
Ruckus catching a stray was hilarious though. Like he had no parts in this. He just sitting at home having a good time, and they're like, "This that Ruckus bullshit again." He's like, "Wait, what did I do?"
Ruckus firing back was hilarious. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
I didn't see that tweet.
I
think he deleted it now. God damn it.
Who was he talking to?
I don't think I can say it out here. But God, I sent it to you. I'm so mad now. I thought I sent that to you.
He was shooting at somebody.
No, somebody shot at him. And he was like, "No." He fired back immediately.
Oh,
yeah. Stop playing with him, dog.
But yeah, great match. Great way for the Eliminator to finally have something that we can attach on. It's something that the announcers could at least tell a story with as to why they're continuously doing these matches. Very important that Mina got the victory over Tony, like Phil was saying, because it really hammers home what this stipulation and what it is. I like the little stare down at the end of Tony being like kind of surprised, but also kind of happy about Mina being in that position and them smiling at the Titantron. I thought this was all really good.
Yeah. Turn around and doing the basically you again.
Yeah. Then that led to the homegirl or Mercedes coming down to try to get her revenge for getting her championship taken in a great outfit. And then that led to the homegirl Jamie Hayter being like, "You're not going to have the spotlight," and coming out there. So there was some shenanigans at the end of this too.
Mercedes is one of the most unintentionally funny wrestlers in the world. Her mad face that she had on was so funny to me. It's just the way she was moving when she came out, just very funny.
So good. She's the best. She'll say like a little comment too that you're just like, Mercedes,
no, you took my title.
Right.
I think that's the point of the match, is to win the belt. You took my title. Like she came in there, took it out your bag. Like, nah.
And they said they were going to take your title, so you took my title. Yes, that was the match.
Yes. Yeah, we didn't get into that tag match and the stuff after the tag match, which was definitely something. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to just, you know.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of the way Top Flight is being booked here. I think they look like big dorks. I hate it.
What do you? I was talking about it, tweeting about it after the show. I think the issue is I knew this was going to be the issue. The Hurt Syndicate is too big and bad, right? Like we don't believe that anybody in this tag division can beat these guys, right? And so I love Top Flight. I love Crew. I like Dustin and Sammy. But nobody believes any of these teams are going to win. Like, even if you guys all beat each other, nobody in the world believes that any of you guys are going to beat the Hurt Syndicate.
How about I forgot Dustin was a double champion? He started talking. I was like, wait, he got two belts. Why he got two belts?
Are those?
Yeah.
But why does he have two belts, though, Phil?
Yeah. I thought like the aftermatch stuff went on long because I thought right after the match it was going to go straight to the Max stuff, and so then we had to tag stuff. I was like, what is this? And then
that was confusing too. And then MVP's like, we got more business. I'm like, why didn't you just get immediately to that business? I don't understand what's going on here.
MVP breaking the fourth wall and saying, yeah, I'm getting flagged down that we got 30 seconds before commercial. I was like, I don't know that we need to know that part.
That part, yeah. You don't need to say the 30 seconds part, I think, but okay.
Yeah. The tag match and the after match stuff, I was just like, and the match itself was fine. It's just that the stuff last week in combination with the match didn't make Top Flight look good.
Exactly. And I think that's the most frustrating part, because I thought we got to a point where they were going to be contenders and they were going to be something. Where the hell is Private Party? Like, what is like this division? It's frustrating because I thought we were back to it. FTR is doing some stuff over with Nigel and Daniel Garcia, who aren't even a tag team. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? What is this? The Young Bucks are back and they're cooking, but they're not involved in tag team wrestling right now because they're involved in the Anarchy and the arena stuff. So it's like, what is this division is going to be? Feel like who is the team to beat Bobby and Shelton? Exactly.
It kind of feels like we're leading to Hangman Swerve versus them at some point. I don't know if they're going to be the ones to beat them, but it does kind of feel like they're going to challenge for the tag belts at some point.
Yeah, because I know this is leading to Bucks versus Hangman and Swerve. I don't know if the titles will be involved in that too.
Yes, but I mean, yeah, Redmond, Cope, and Christian eventually.
Right.
They've got some. I think it sucks like that Mark Davis got hurt because you had Aussie Open right there. I think, like I said, the issue here isn't necessarily that I want Top Flight to win every match, but it just feels like you're in this constant phase of building them up to something. And so when they lose in the midst of it, it feels like, okay, now it's going to take weeks to build them back up after that. And it just feels like it's been this for the last year. Like, when are we going to get to it?
Like, it feels like they're doing it to like booking them in a circle or something. Like, we get to a point where it's going to be good, and then we're right back to the bottom. Like, okay, we climbed 10 steps and then we go back 15 steps. It's like, wait, what's going on here? I don't really understand what it is, but I just want this division to be something, because we named like 8 tag teams right now. And if everybody just starts cooking and everybody starts having some meaning, and we feel like the tag team belts could be won by a team, that it's going to be something. So I think I'm leaning to getting those belts off the Hurt Syndicate. I know. I'm sorry.
Eventually. Yeah. Maybe this is leading to Max and a tag team partner challenging them. I don't know.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Because what's Max going to do? Like, he's got to get back to the world title thing. Like, what?
Yeah. I don't know. But then again, who is going to team with Max? Like, I don't see that happening now. I think about it.
This one ain't got no friends.
No friends. That's been a whole story for the past few months. He's been trying to make friends, and everybody's like, get this guy out of here.
No interest. Yeah, but unfortunately for the tag division, I hope they get better.
Yeah. Please no. Somebody in our chat said Max and Cole. Please, God, no.
Max and Cole, don't do that. Why would you think that?
Please, God.
Don't even think that, man. Adam Cole is somewhere having a way better time. Leave him over there. He's happy. He's with his friends. Let him do that. Oh, Roddy and Kyle. People don't be liking Roddy and Kyle though, but I love Roddy and Kyle.
Ain't they a great tag team?
Me too, man. I think they're so good, but some people have the bias against those guys for some reason.
I don't know. Yeah. Jury's still out on this Paragon name, but I like them as a team.
I hate it. And their t-shirt looks like it says Papa Con instead of Paragon. Like, what is that? Like a dad Comic-Con? Comic-Con for dads, Papa Con. And I'm always like, what is that shirt? But what is the name? I don't like it. I don't think it's ever gonna grow on me. But again, I've said that about a bunch of things and it's grown on me too.
Yeah. We also got Ricochet versus Zach Gowen. Zach Gowen, of course, is a legend at this point. cannot think of certain periods during the Attitude Era without thinking of the Zach Gowen spot or Zach Gowen attraction match. So it's cool to see that here. I thought he fit perfectly with what Ricochet is doing. Ricochet continues to be a fantastic heel. He continues to be annoying in the best ways possible. When he won the match and he tried to reach back in there and get the leg, and Mark pulled it away, and you could see him walking back and saying to the camera, "What you doing in my business, Mark? Like, what this got to do with you?"
Ricochet is so funny, dude. I thought this was a really smartly worked match too, like, because essentially it's like Ricochet's burning this guy down, like he's hitting him with everything in the world, like all Ricochet's big spots he busted out on Zach Gowen. Zach Gowen keeps kicking out, and like that built the fans up, and when he eventually got to hitting Ricochet with his leg and the crowd is all into it, then he goes for the moonsault. It's like they done just enough, I think, to get the crowd invested in Zach Gowen, who, if you've never seen him, you're going to be amazed by one like wrestler. And if you have seen him, you're going to have an emotional connection to him because you remember what he previously did. So they got you back invested in Zach Gowen. But then also it built up Ricochet so much more as a heel. Him doing the leg spots of like trying to put the figure four on him and not being able to, or like anything like that, was like, after this, you felt like Ricochet's such a shitty little heel, and it added on to that thing. I guess they announced Mark Briscoe challenged Ricochet to a stretcher match at Double or Nothing.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, online yesterday, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense, because I was wondering what's the Ricochet match at the pay-per-view after this, but that makes sense. I haven't been the biggest fan of the Spirit Gun. This match, I thought the Spirit Gun worked perfectly for what it was supposed to be. Like when he hit him with the first one and then one, and then he came back and like clobbered him with that second one. That second one, he put stank on the second one. I was like, dang, man, he's already dead. Leave him alone.
Yeah, see, I see it. I'm on your side too, Phil, because I don't know if I love it, but then I was like, oh, it's all in the sale, because that Gowen like made that shit look crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, great match. I think Ricochet just doing that on TV, but then like we were talking about previously on Twitter, adding on to it too, like constantly just fighting with random people online, but in a good, fun way. And I think going towards this character, I think is awesome.
Yeah, I love what the Spirit Gun is supposed to represent. Of course, we all want him to do flippy things, and then he's winning with this elbow. And of course, it's also him making the jab of anything Ospreay can do, I can do it better. So yeah. I like what it's supposed to represent. Sometimes it doesn't look great, but I thought in this match, I thought it looked perfect for a finish. And like you said, Zach Gowen sold it incredibly.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Zach Gowen getting an opportunity on Dynamite, but then it furthering the story.
Yeah, I was on the phone. I think I was on the phone with Emilio. I was on the phone with somebody, and I was like, oh, Zach Gowen's back. And I did the Syndrome, and he got busy while he was away. He got kids. Like, what's going on?
He got busy while he was away as hell.
He got busy.
Yeah, he's back. That was like 20 years ago. It's the craziest thing. Like the stuff from him on WWE, like that was 20 years ago, maybe even more at this point.
Time. What is time at this point?
Unbelievable. 20, like you think you say 20 years that was the 90s, but it wasn't the 90s at all, like not even close.
Yeah we'll skip right past that Stokely segment. The great thing about it is it seems like we're probably getting FTR versus Garcia and McGinnis at the pay-per-view. Great. I think that match sounds fire. This segment was
at where the show was going and what we were leading to, it wasn't needed on this show at all. Like it didn't. The segment was awful, I thought, and the placement and timing of it wasn't that great. I want to see the match bad. I think it's going to be great. FTR versus Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. Incredible, but just announce it. We don't need this.
Yeah. The segment was it was rough. But yeah, the match itself, very excited for the match.
Big hitter. Gonna kill it.
Yeah.
We're here. Now we can get your thoughts on unadulterated, unfiltered.
On a steel cage?
Okay, just the match. Let's start with just the match. first of all, them coming back from commercial break, John Moxley not being bloody, and then them coming back from commercial break and he's bloody and all this, and then Hobbs is there and Willow's there and the Death Squad's there. I'm like, how did all this happen during a commercial break?
The steel cage match is fine. It just was. Yeah. I know we're gonna do the same thing. This is the highest drawing episode of Dynamite this year, and the cage match did very well. Yeah, I know, but
numbies.
I didn't. This wasn't really for me, and I knew going in it wasn't going to be for me, so it wasn't a big deal.
They told us it wasn't for us off rip. This isn't for you guys, and we're like, all right, okay.
I think it was a good spot to put Joe in to do like a filler match before the pay-per-view, but really this was a vehicle to get to the Anarchy in the Arena match.
Right. Yeah, that's the part that was the most frustrating for me, because it was like Joe is a viable contender. He's done a lot of fun stuff, even just in this last couple of weeks to build this match. Joe and Mox in a steel cage, that all sounds fun, but it's just a vehicle to get somewhere. And the match was okay, and like I said, the bloody thing was funny, but the okay, I've went a couple of places with this Gabe Kidd thing since it's happened, Phil, because we just had an interview with him. If you haven't seen it, it's on our Grapsody page. Check it out. Where we were asking him about how he felt about AEW. And he's like, fuck that. Fuck all those people there. I don't like that. I don't like that shit. And every time he's talked about AEW, he's been like, I hate them. I hate these people. I hate all this, which I love. It's great. So he went from that to saving John Moxley at the end of this match with the briefcase. And now he's on their squad. The New Japan connection, a couple weeks ago, they were in a meeting with the Young Bucks and the Death Riders. Like, I hear you. You can get me there if you try to, but why?
I think most of it is we just have fatigue with the way these matches are worked and the constant interference. So when interference happens now, regardless if it's bad or not, it's just kind of like, here we go. It's exactly. Kind of like as soon as a ref bump happens, it's like, okay, here we go.
When the bloodline shit was going on and then they hit the ref bump and you're like, here we go, same shit again.
Yeah. The Gabe thing, I initially was like, what? Why though? I was very confused because I thought Jack was coming down.
Jack Perry.
That's where I thought this was going. I thought this was going to be the big return of Jack in Chicago. And I thought that's where it was going. And so when he didn't come out, I was like, oh, it's Gabe. And it took me a minute. I sat there for a while and I was like, "What? Why would he do that?" Because he hasn't been linked to this at all.
Right.
And so, yeah, I was confused. But I do think it makes sense because Gabe has been saying all this time, these AEW wrestlers, they don't work hard. They don't do what I do. They don't put into this what I do, which is essentially what Mox has been saying in so many words. Mox has been like, nah, y'all are complacent. They don't
know what the position that they're in. They're just wasting it.
Yes, and having a link of a former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion go and recruit somebody else from Japan. I mean, everything Mox is doing, his link to his run in Japan with his music, the Death Riders, everything about it is linked to his New Japan run. So him going and getting a hitter from New Japan that's essentially saying all the same stuff he said, I think that works. Now,
yes,
the caveat in it is it's weird seeing him standing next to the Bucks when he just had the match with the Bucks a week ago. Less than a week ago, because that was Saturday. That part of it,
he just said fuck these guys in the ring. We watched it.
But I mean, I guess you could headcanon this and say, well, the Bullet Club guys earned their respect by the end of the match. And that's why he was fine with working with them.
Yeah. And we don't know in kayfabe what happened after the match behind the scenes. They could have made a deal with them. Like there's like I said, I could be talked into this.
Yeah, I just think what it is every time we see interference now, we've been traumatized by a hooded guy coming down and interfering now because we see it so much that's like, God, just do something else.
So yeah, being traumatized coupled with I thought this was going to be Jack and Jack would made sense also was like what?
Yes. The stuff after the match was I didn't understand why the Bucks got in the ring with the big goofy controller to pull the
Yeah.
cage back down. And then when the cage was down and they got what they wanted with everybody trapped in there, then they were like, pull it back up, pull it back up. I was like, it was all so convoluted. And then you had all of the people getting in there and why is this person involved? Why is that person involved? And then in the meantime, they're
The
acting like
Speedball and Rain Okada, like people were like Speedballs in this match. Like, yeah, because you wouldn't know because the camera shot them for 3 seconds and they ran off.
Yeah, I think the way that this was executed was a bit clumsy, and then like I said, you had the Bucks like big cartoonish villains, like we're gonna pull the cage down on you guys. You're trapped in here with us now.
Right.
And then when Swerve comes in, pull it up, pull it up, pull it up. It's like
Pull it up.
that was kind of silly, but I thought Swerve saved this segment from being completely bad because
Definitely.
you focused it on the Anarchy in the Arena match.
Right.
And I thought that was needed. And I mean, as a build to Anarchy in the Arena, I think that this is fine. I just think the execution from the start of it was a little bit wonky.
Yeah. I was talking on the watch along how I'm frustrated at this thing of it's the month, so we have to do this match. Oh, it's May, so we have to do Anarchy in the Arena. And they like forced a story, or you know what I mean? And they like force some pieces into this puzzle because they have to get to it at Double or Nothing. And like WWE started to do this thing where it's like, oh, it's October, we got to do a Hell in a Cell match, so we have to force something into the match instead of we have this feud where these guys are tearing each other apart, and only thing that can stop this craziness is Anarchy in the Arena, and we haven't gotten to only thing that can stop this craziness is Anarchy in the Arena. You know what I mean? It's just like it's May, it's Double or Nothing. Who are gonna fill these 5 slots?
Well, I mean, technically they've been building to this for a few months with all of the Death Rider stuff and needing somebody to stand up against the Death Riders because they're out of control.
Yes.
And I do like the build that they've done because that made it easy to put both Willow and Marina in there. Very glad that they're going to add the women to this match.
Definitely.
But I feel what you're saying because it kind of feels like after a while, it feels like, okay, we got to fill this slot. So how do we get from point A to point B? But I think at least they did do a serviceable build for the past few months to make this.
There is story behind it. It wasn't just like they weren't just throwing shit at the wall. Like they planted seeds to get here.
Yes, and so like specifically with Willow and Marina, I don't think it would have made sense if they were in a match if they hadn't been planting the seeds all along with this, with the mixed tag match and some of the stuff before that. The idea of Swerve picking his side and leading Team AEW again makes sense because they've been building to that since Dynasty, since he lost to Dynasty. Teaming the Bucks with the Death Riders and everything is also from the finish of that. But that's also, again, why I thought this was going to be Jack. I've been thinking about this. I was going to say since Dynamite, but I've been thinking about this for a while. Do you think Jack fits with the Elite?
I was thinking because there was a show a few weeks ago that I thought he was going to return to. What show was that? He was supposed to be. There was like a mystery opponent or something. Was it the last pay-per-view? There's supposed to be a mystery opponent. I thought it was going to be Jack. And I was thinking if Jack comes back, though, the scapegoat thing has to be over. Like, as a scapegoat, he doesn't fit with the Elite at all, especially in their incarnation of being the EVPs, the founding fathers and all this. And like that, he doesn't fit the scapegoat thing at all. I think there is a world with a little switch that he fits right in there, but I don't know if coming back, like how do they reestablish him, I guess is my question, Phil. Like, does he come back? Because he could come back as an EVP guy too with the suit and all that. And I think like being the trust fund baby or whatever, that guy can work for him. But like this scapegoat shit doesn't fit with it at all.
Yeah, I think it was the wild card match. That's where you thought he was gonna pop up, and it was Alexander instead.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. Against Hangman.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't think he fits with them. I think that what he's doing is so different than what the Bucks and Okada's doing. Yeah. They're doing the corporate takeover thing. They have, they're wearing the suits, and it's different.
And Jack is doing like a Raven type. I'm
Yeah.
alone. I don't need anybody. Fuck y'all, dark type shit.
Yeah, I don't know that fits with what they're doing. I personally think Jack fits better with the Death Riders. I think like the way he looks, the stuff he's been saying, I think thematically he fits more with the Death Riders. And I've been assuming that they were building towards him
To that.
leaving the Elite and joining Mox. Like even when Mox had that interaction with him backstage and he was like, I always liked you. I thought that was leading to something with him going over there because he fits so much better with them.
Damn, you're killing me again. This makes so much. I'm like, now everything that escaped. I'm like, all of that is Death Rider stuff. Like the font, the way that he would dress, like that's all Death Rider. Everything. And then I remember that that Moxley thing where he's like, I liked you. All this felt like Jack. Now my question is for you, Phil. Where the fuck is Jack Perry at?
I don't know. Sheldon is making an excellent point, and this is also where I was getting ready to go. Ricochet is a natural fit with the Elite. He wears the suits.
Makes a lot of sense. Yep.
He comes out with the glasses, just everything he's doing, the humor of his act, it all works better with what they're doing. A lot of times when the Bucks and Okada are doing the humor, it kind of feels like Jack is just standing there and he's just like trying to be stoic and trying to stay in his character. And it just doesn't work with what they're doing. It just doesn't match. And I don't think it's because Jack is a bad wrestler or that he's doing something that I don't like. I just think that it just doesn't match with what they're doing. I think he would fit much better with the Death Riders.
Damn, Sheldon, you brought up a great point because Ricochet does he has BTE humor.
Yes.
Like a lot of his stuff that he does is BTE style. So yeah, I think him in the Elite makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe that makes sense with why Jack hasn't come back yet. I am very confused of what's going on here. I hope he's not injured or something, but it is kind of weird because he was being pushed very heavily at one point. He came back, he got a title match against Bryan. He was champion. He was getting pushed big time when he came back. He was in the main storyline.
I was gonna say his matches were like deep in the. I remember the All In show. Like him and Darby went late. Like this is all like it felt like they were like Jack's our guy, and the way that all the stuff was after post CM Punk and how they were leaning to. I'm like, okay, Jack's gonna do something or be somebody. And recently, it's been weird.
Yeah,
confused.
So I wouldn't be surprised if when Jack comes back, he turns on the Bucks because it just makes sense.
He should.
And I think it makes all the sense in the world for him to turn on him. And you could just see the same way we got the thing where Rollins came behind Brian Breaker and he's hugging him like, this is my guy. Mox doing the same thing with Jack Perry. It just makes too much sense.
Oh, so maybe, okay, now I'm with you. Jack comes back during the match.
Maybe he cost the other team the match.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they've got something else planned for Jack along the later down the line, but I don't know. I've been thinking this for a minute. I'm just like something here with the Elite is just not really working for me, and it's him. And it's hard to vocalize that because people at one point thought I just didn't like the guy, but as I've reminded you guys many times, I like Jack Perry. I don't think he meshes with what they're doing because what they do is so inherently silly and hokey, and his character is so self-serious. It just doesn't work.
Right. He doesn't fit in the universe. And that's not, like you said, not to take away from who he is as a performer. It's just like who his character is doesn't fit with that group.
No, I think he makes much more sense as a Death Rider.
Well, shit, hopefully he comes back because I think that he should be on TV. Jack Perry, come on, you guys got somebody here.
Yeah. And I think for what the Death Riders are doing, it always made sense for me for them to embrace one of the pillars and go, no, you belong over here with us.
That does make sense.
But yeah.
Okay, I'm sold.
But we're fully on the road to Double or Nothing. Got a lot of matches set up so far. Exciting. I think all the matches so far look like heat. I was worried when they put the Owen Hart matches on there that they were going to stiff us with one women's match. I'm glad that I was wrong about that because that would have been a bad decision.
Really bad. Michael Jackson. There's this is setting up. I think both of the Owen Hart matches are going to be incredible. Anarchy in the Arena could be fun. People are debating on what song's going to get played this year and what kind of spots are going to happen. Double or Nothing's going to have going to have better matches than the last couple of years potentially. So I'm hoping to see some good execution on that.
Yeah, excited for this pay-per-view. They're still, as Redmond's saying, they're still doing the Tekla teases with the graphic. So a lot of stuff to be excited about.
AEW's firing. Collisions tonight. No collision show tonight, though. It's Denise's birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, my friend.
I was about to say, wait, there's no collision tonight? I was confused.
There's collision tonight, but not a collision show.
Yeah. Let's get into some of these super chats and humper chats.
Yep. The homie Uncle Donk says, OKC laying 9.5 points at home. Seem fair since Gordon most likely will miss game 7 with this messed up hammy. SGA, let's fucking go. Candidate.
That seems a little high. It does. It seems a little high. I probably would take that spread if I was betting because I do think Denver's gonna lose, but 9.5 is a lot of points.
That's a lot. Yeah. We'll see. Is the game tonight?
Yeah. No, sorry. It's Sunday.
It's Sunday. Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't think there is any games because everybody else finished their series.
Come on, man. Van Twinblade says, you know what the people really want? Daddy Magic versus Stokely in Tournament of Death. Is that what the people want?
Is it? You sure?
No. Thanks, Van Twinblade. Van Twinnable is what I want to call him every single time.
Van Twinnable.
Appreciate y'all.
Got some more humper chats. Tony P. We're getting close to a topic that I know you can't wait to get into.
Can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. Can't wait. Was that Sleepy Brown?
I was wondering where you were going with that. Classic Andre 3000 verse, like, yeah.
Andre.
He keeps playing with us, keeps putting out music, and I saw somebody going a full rant on him on the stream. Like, dog, stop it, man. It might have been Elliot. I think Elliot was like, man, you keep putting out all of these albums, and you don't even play the instruments well. Like, we just want the raps. I'm like, well, hold on, Elliot. Like, I didn't say all of that he can't play.
I saw a classically trained pianist that was mad. He was going ham that Andre put out that piano album. He was like, how the audacity, how dare him? I'm like, why can't he just?
Yeah. Hey, man, he's just trying to live his life.
Like, people are mad at Andre. And like, if it was me, and probably you too, Phil, because I feel like this is kind of your energy. If everybody continues to tell you to rap, I'm going to do everything but rap. I'm going to come out with a piano album. Fuck y'all. Tell me to rap again. Get this motherfucking ukulele album next. Better quit playing with me. Get the sax album.
Nah, see, he's gonna do his cover of the Sabu theme.
Andre 3000 covers Sabu on the sax. Hella funny.
From Tony P, he says, great to see Sky back. Sorry, I think I skipped one. Yeah, I skipped one. Sorry. He says, other than that, again, Dynamite was fun. Syndicate stuff hit a snag with the crew and Sons of Texas, but back on track with MJF stuff. The opening match was what we expected. Godly, Rico and Zach just helped cement that Rico is who we thought he was. Yeah, basically what we thought. Hit a little bit of a snag right after the match. You know, we could have just went straight to the Max thing.
It would have been easy, but I want those guys to have TV. Like when it was happening, Phil, I was like, "That's cool. All these guys are getting to talk. Leo Rush is talking. There's a connection with him and Bobby." But I was like,
"Yeah,
Nobody cares though. Fuck.
Well, I think if the crew had just came out and we got the connection to Bobby, it would have been fine. But you started
As
it
soon
with
as Dustin and Sammy
stuff,
came out, it
and
was over.
yeah, because there's some people that as soon as you mention anything ROH, people tune out.
That's the sad realization that I never want to tell myself, but that's so real. Soon as Dustin was like, "We're the tag champs," I was like, "Oh my god, none of these people care." It's unfortunate, but like that's not a sell to them, you know.
Yes, unfortunately. More more from Tony P. He says, "Great to see Sky back in fun 4-way. But the best part of the night, Willow got paid and was rewarded with a double or nothing main event. I didn't expect Marina to be the other women with her, but she has been doing good in the Death Rider story. Happy for her too." Yeah, are we sure that's the main event?
I don't know. I don't know if we can say. Can we say that? I don't know
Might
if
be.
it is.
Might be.
I mean, there's no like world title match, so I guess that's
yeah.
thing.
But that would make it even better that Willow are added to it if it was the main event.
Now, do you think that? What do you think the interaction will be with the men and the women if they are officially in the match?
Yeah, I don't know. I hope. I mean, the mixed match they did, the mixed tag matches were good. So.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
You know,
okay.
If it's similar to that, I'm in for it.
And Willow always hits when she's in a street fight or something, plunder match. So I'm sure it'll be chaos.
Yeah, I'm sure she's gonna pull off a crazy spot here.
Mm-hmm.
Should be a fun match. He says now, Backlash was an okay bad, but not as bad as I feared. He said I hated the shit with Gable. McAfee not getting murdered was a choice, and Gunt showing respect to McAfee was disgusting. The crowd did a lot of caring for the show, along with the first 2 matches. Yeah, should we get into this Backlash card?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So excited. We're all excited. Everyone's excited here.
I was gonna get into Best of Super Juniors first, but
come on.
we got a chance to talk about Backlash.
Cena.
We talking about Backlash.
Backlash, baby, from St. Louis, Missouri.
That's right. Backlash came to you live from St. Louis, Missouri, Enterprise Center. I thought the first 2 matches were great. I enjoyed them a lot. The Fatal 4-Way was basically what I expected, with the surprise towards the end. Got a surprise debut. But the match itself, I really liked it.
JC Mateo, was that his name? Is that where we're officially going now?
Which is funny because didn't they call him Jeff Cobb on the show?
They did on that show. Mm-hmm.
They didn't get that memo yet, I guess.
Well, JC, that's Jeff Cobb. That's still the same, Phil.
I hate it.
I do like him, the crew that he's with. I do like what that's going to be. And we knew this match was going to hit. There's hitters in this.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for Solo to keep going and getting a bunch of Polynesians to team with him. Well, Jeff Cobb's Filipino. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think he fits with them. I think he works with them. That segment last night was really, really funny. I don't know if you saw it.
What was it?
Towards the end, Jeff Cobb was doing his all of his catchphrases. He was like, "Cause I'm all gas, no brakes." And before he could finish, Solo was on the side, "Yada yada mean, yada mean," and they all looking at him like, "So what are you doing?" And he was like, "What? Yeah, I'm on a bandwagon too. What? What you say, right?"
I love it. I love this energy.
Yeah, I think Solo works best when he does a little bit of comedy. When he's just trying to be taken seriously,
serious guy,
it's not as good. But when he does the comedy stuff, he's great. His timing is great. His facial expressions and everything are really great. I thought he was really funny last night.
He relates definitely a lot more in the humor category to Jim than he does Jay. Like he has that like quick-witted, like, I'll fuck you up. Yeah. Secretly, you don't know that I'm this quick-witted type humor, and I like to see that.
Yeah, but Jacob is Jacob. He looked fantastic in this match. LA Knight, I thought looked great as well. I thought he had good chemistry. with Jacob, Damian Priest. Again, all of the wrestlers in this match,
They're hoopers.
they're hoopers. I thought it made sense to separate Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre and continue their feud. That's leading to, I believe, this is a steel cage match for Saturday Night Main Event, which will be next Saturday, same weekend as another big pay-per-view.
So it's not over for LA Knight, Phil, right?
No, I don't think he needs a chance. I don't think he needs a title at this point because he's still very much over. I still think he works well. He still talks well. His promos still get over. I think he's fine.
Yeah, same here.
And I really enjoyed the Mania match. I thought that he was great.
Like, he's not going to be world champion like 2 years ago. He could have been projected to be, but I think he's still going to be over for most of his time here.
I think he's in a good spot. Like I said, I enjoyed the WrestleMania match more than I expected to.
Right.
So I think he's fine. But yeah, it made sense to separate Damian and Drew, get them back to their blood feud. That table spot they did looked absolutely disgusting. I was like, please be okay after this, guys.
Some dangerous stuff. Damian's done a couple of those big, crazy table spots, and they always scare the shit out of me, but he always makes it work.
Yeah. I think it's because he's so tall.
That's what it is.
I keep thinking he's gonna miss the table and hit the ground, and it looks scary. So
that's what it is every time. Like, this guy's too tall for this every time, but he always makes it work.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought that spot looked great. I thought everything they did to get back to that feud made sense. And so when it got separated down to Jacob and LA Knight, it did legitimately feel like LA Knight could win. And so when we got the interference, bringing in Jeff Cobb, I thought that was smart as well. Solo looking around like, what? This is what we do. I'm helping you win. I thought all of that worked. Jeff Cobb looked the part as a big heater next to him.
Thought this guy was retiring, Phil. What the hell? He told me he was done here.
Lied to us, man. Lied to us. But yeah, Jacob Fatu out of here, bro.
Yeah.
He's out of here, dog. There's only a matter of time before you have to move him out of the mid card. He's hot, dog.
It's happening so fast. It feels like every moment he gains so much with every match, with every promo, with every appearance. Like, I just keep hearing Jacob. Everybody's like obsessed over it, and I'm like, damn, Jacob's cooking, dude. This is amazing. And he's like 100% the guy you would see not on TV. That's the same guy.
Yeah, so happy for him because it took forever for him to get here, and for a while we didn't think he was going to get to the big stage like this. And so people that are surprised by how well he talks, how well he presents himself, he's been ready. He's been ready. He's a natural at this point. He's got natural charisma. He's a great talker and great worker. He can do the big spots.
Man, he's still only going like 60%. Like, there's still so much this guy has in there.
We haven't seen them scratch the surface with him. That's why I know he's out of here. Like, when they're ready to push him into world title picture. Yeah.
That's crazy. It's so funny when remember when he came in and they were like, there was this memo that WWE's worried that he's going to surpass Solo. And we were like, it's too bad it's happening. And like, you see it now and you're like, damn, this guy is on a fucking rocket ship, brother.
Yes. I was surprised with just the way this went that there were certain matches that didn't end up on this card. Like, even like after last night, the Tiffany Nia match, I was like, well, why wasn't that here? Why didn't you put that on the pay-per-view if you were just going to do that anyway?
Right after, essentially, on the next show.
Yeah, it was the same thing with the Jey Uso Seth Rollins match. Why didn't you just put that on the pay-per-view? I didn't understand that, but
it was just like last week or last month with the TLC match. It's like, why do you guys keep putting these matches that you could put on the show right afterwards?
Yeah, I don't really get it. I don't get trying to stick to this 5-match thing. You don't have to. Like, 6 or 7 matches is fine.
I think it'll be fine with 7 matches. They don't all have to be 30 minutes. Like, you could still do a tight wound show if you did it, but they're just sticking to it so hard.
Yes. Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch was my favorite match of the night. I thought that these women worked very well together. We already knew that because they had the NXT match and they've had other matches together. And I continue to be impressed with Lyra as an in-ring talent. She's so good. And kudos to Becky because she did so much here to make this her match and to give her all of the big technical spots. Like she went into this with the story of Becky saying, "I got you here. You needed me to get here," and Lyra very pointedly was like, "No, I'm better than you. I can out wrestle you," and she proceeded to out wrestle her in this match.
Yeah. It's really good structure from Becky Lynch. You kind of forget with all the controversy and everything that constantly surrounds her and her interviews and stuff that when the bell fucking rings, it's still a great worker in here. Like Becky Lynch is still Becky Lynch, and her kind of being the veteran and leading Lyra to this type of thing, I think was expected, and to kind of show like, regardless of what happens, I could still go when the bell rings.
Yeah, I thought the way this match was structured, it made a lot of sense. I said she did a lot so that Lyra could get all the technical spots in. She got like the surfboard in and like all of the like holds and stuff that made her look better. I mean, for an IC title match, this is what you want to see. And I think this is what was really missing for this belt, these kind of feuds. And the fact that it was on this stage, the fact that it, to me, it was the best match on the show. I think that both Lyra and this belt needed this.
Becky Hogan, huh? That's so funny. I'm like, there's been people are fighting for a year to get a title match on a women's title match on pay-per-view, to get this specific belt on pay-per-view. She comes back and then the match is on pay-per-view. I'm like, but this is the person they complain about. I'm like, well, isn't she helping?
Yeah. Great. The weird stuff with Lyra's fiance that turned into a Twitter thing. That was very weird.
What the hell?
I didn't really get that. The optic of it was very weird, and how they were trying to make it like, Lyra's boyfriend is a dork, and it's like, but no, he's a wrestler, and it was very weird.
And you're saying somebody's boyfriend, which means he has somebody, but
her fiance, like it was. And I mean, I got Becky doing the heel work, but just the optic around it was strange. And then fans being fans, that was weird.
Fans.
I didn't get that aspect of it, but I really liked the match. The finish was a little weird, but overall I enjoyed it.
I think this is good for that championship more than anything, being put in this position.
Yeah, I mean, Lyra beat her clean. If you guys remember when we did the preview of the show, I kept going back and forth because I was like, I think there's a good chance Lyra could win this match, guys. And for some reason, I wouldn't just stick to my gut, but my gut was telling me that she was going to win this match.
You thought Becky Hogan was going to be Becky Hogan. That's why.
Yeah, I couldn't tell because I feel like this is a feud they're going to keep going with. I definitely think there'll be another match, but I couldn't tell if they were going to go with putting the belt on Becky first. But it just makes too much sense for Lyra to get this win. They've given Lyra some pretty high-profile wins in her first year on the main roster. I mean, she's one of the few women up there that's beaten EO. She beat Bayley. Now she's beat Becky. She might be heading to a world title picture soon.
Definitely. I think she needed this win more than anything, though. You bring Becky back and have her beat Becky on the big PLE. And like I said, continue to establish this belt. This is really good for her.
Yeah. I was surprised how good this match was. Like I said, this was easily match of the night for me. Kind of started trending downward at this point. This is where I started turning the basketball game on and going, I see where this is going.
Started watching something else, went to go find a snack, a little drink.
Yeah, this is when I got into two screen mode. I was like, what the Warriors talking about? Dominic Mysterio versus Penta was always going to be an interesting sell because Dominic's not a terrible wrestler. No. But Penta is Penta. And if there were several points during this match where it felt like this wasn't Penta at full speed. This isn't Penta we've seen tear it up other places to make this a feasible match for Dominic to win.
Yeah, like I think the lore and the great in-ring stuff that we want to get from Penta, we didn't get it here. And that's WWE style, especially Dominic Mysterio. He did that interview this week where he was like, I don't have to do a bunch of moves. So when I do the big move, then it means more already. I'm like, it's a really good way to sell whatever you're selling, brother.
Yeah, and you had all these fans like, look how smart he is. This is
Right.
He's brilliant. Like, and see, he's been around the
Look how smart he is. I saw a lot of that this week. But I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, you guys.
Yeah. And I mean,
he showed you, huh? Will Ospreay, look at this. I'm like, oh my God.
yeah, and look, that isn't to say that what he's doing isn't smart for him as a
Right.
heel, but
Yeah.
at this point he's getting over. He's really not a heel anymore. He's getting cheered.
You're about to be a full blown baby face very soon, dude. Then what? You can't do that. It can't be the same as a baby face. You can't hide behind stuff as a baby face. We need offense. And like the offense that it's still like you said, Penta wasn't going full speed and Dominic still kind of moves like half speed, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. This felt very much like a TV match on this pay-per-view.
Yeah. Right.
And not in the sense that like it didn't feel important enough to be on it, but just the way it was worked, the structure of it, the finish of it with the grande stuff and the headbutt that looked silly. I just didn't care about any of that. I was just like, oh, okay, I see.
Right. But people are like, this is all Dominic's. He's the future of this, and I'm like, I hear you. I saw someone say. He's better than Rey Mysterio. I had to turn my phone off. I turned my phone off. They're like, Dominic has now surpassed his dad. And I was like, all right. I think that's enough internet for today.
Yeah, trolling. They had to be trolling.
I hope so. But you never know these days. So these people be serious about this shit. Because they don't know. They don't know any better. To some fools, Rey Mysterio's just Dominic Mysterio's dad. And that's crazy.
All right. Whoa. All right. Yeah, I mean, it was fine for what it was. I just it's to advance the grande Americano stuff with Penta that I don't really care about. And I mean, I get it. I get you're going to continue to push this. Now you've got more luchadors coming in, and he's doing this gimmick of I hate luchadors. I'm going to mock luchadors. It makes sense to have him for a bunch of luchadors to work, but yeah,
Still,
I don't.
Not interested.
Wasn't really for me. Gunther versus Pat McAfee
also
ended in a technical submission. This match was never going to be what I wanted it to be. And let's just get that out from the beginning, because like Tony P is saying, the only way this should end is Gunther destroying this guy. Mm-hmm. Gunther should just squash this guy. That's it. That's the payoff here.
We've seen this guy be a dominant NXT UK champion. We've seen this guy carry the World Heavyweight Champion to prominence. He should go in here and throttle this announcer, right? Like that's what this should be. He should go in there, hit him with a couple of chops, power bomb him, and take it home. That's what it should be.
Yes, but we're getting the idea that he's toying with him throughout the match, which I'm just like, okay. I get the motivation of Gunther just being a heel and toying with him, but then like the comeback spots and him going back and forth and trying to do chops back and forth with Gunther, I was like, I just don't believe that. Nothing about that feels believable.
A chop battle with Pat McAfee and fucking Gunt, Phil. Come on. What are they thinking?
Him standing toe to toe with him sometimes, I was like, yeah, no, I don't buy it.
We're not supposed. It shouldn't, dude. This is Gunther. What do you mean? Why were they? That's what the issue with the match was always going to be, though. Phil was like,
yes.
Well, you don't want Pat McAfee to look viable against Gunther because he shouldn't.
No, and just what this is sold as, and you're putting on a pay-per-view, you're not just going to have a short match here. You have to justify the spot on the card to do that. Mm-hmm. And so he was never going to dominate him. But the problem with that is he's dominated so many other wrestlers, and you're putting him in there with a guy that doesn't wrestle full time. And then you want me to believe that he can conceivably hang in there because story, look, like he's giving him a chance and he's more interested in looking out there at Michael Cole and mocking Michael Cole. And that's why the match is still going. But I just think the match went on a bit too long. It didn't need to be that long. And then, like I said, there was stuff about it that just never felt believable to me. And I get it. WWE is also doing this thing where they're trying to sell you on influencers and celebrities and athletes as wrestlers. They're trying to sell you as anybody can come in here at some point and do what we do. And if you watch the show all year round, most of us don't want that. Like the lesson that you guys learned with Kurt Angle is when you bring in an outsider, a lot of us don't want that. We want to boo this guy intrinsically.
Right.
But you're telling us the entire time, well, look, we should be impressed by this. Look how good this is. And I think that's part of the problem with Logan Paul as well. They tell us over and over again just how good this guy is and just how natural he is. And look how good he is. And it's like, yeah, but at some point, just let him show us how good he is. The more you tell us how good he is, the more we as fans are not going to like him. And
they're like, we've never seen this before. This is the greatest, blah, blah, blah. If you keep telling us this is the greatest, blah, 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 we're going to repent. That's just how it works.
Yeah, and not all fans will feel that way, but just inevitably, that's just how this goes with some fans. The more you tell us this person is great and it feels unearned, the more people are not going to like it.
It just, more of the point that you're going on, it just looks crazy to the wrestler. If Gunther's squashing our favorites and beating them up on a weekly basis, and then he's having a time with Pat McAfee, well, what does that say about Jey Uso? What does that say about Damian Priest? What does that, what does that say about all these people that Gunther was beating their ass on the way up here?
Yeah. And it gave him the technical submission finish where, he technically didn't tap out. He just passed out, and I'm just
Stone Cold Steve Austin spot. Come on, I say Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I'm like, but you just had Gunther tap out at WrestleMania, and you're giving him this spot here, and then afterwards he didn't even sell the finish. He got right back up, and then we had the show of respect. I was like, why are we doing this? Like, none of that feels believable. It feels thrown on to make Pat look good.
That's what I was gonna say. Who was this for, Phil? They were like, was Pat like, hey, I want to have a match with Gunther that looks fun, and they were like, okay. Like, I don't under. At the end of it, I was like, what was that?
Yeah.
And Gunther a heel? Why is he giving up to Pat McAfee? I don't understand what's going on here.
Yeah, now the crowd was totally into this match the whole time.
Yeah.
They loved it, and I've seen a bunch of people online that said the crowd was into it, and the crowd made the match better. Nice. And I can see that take. I personally it wasn't for me.
That's okay.
It wasn't for me.
I could probably be sold if you tell me why, but still, I don't really want it. I'd like to see Gunther in there with a bunch of other people. Probably not Pat McAfee.
And then he just showed up the next day, 2 days later, on Raw, not selling it. Like, he showed the bruises and stuff on his chest, but he still was just like
regular.
Back to work. I was like,
I don't know if I would do that with my big guy that I, has told you guys is burning down the world, but yeah.
Former world champion. This guy was just world champion a month ago.
He was just world champion a month ago. That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if we should have been doing that, but yeah. No. Not for me.
Choice. Semi-main event too, Phil. They're like, this is the big match, you guys.
Yeah, not for me, and especially as I don't really care for Pat McAfee's presence in general. I don't really like him on commentary, so it just ain't for me. And I understand a lot of other people that enjoyed it, but meh.
It does have a place on this card. Like, everything on every card isn't for everybody. Like you said, the crowd was into it, and there's something to this. But I'm good.
Yes. Main event. John Cena.
Same thing I just said.
John Cena versus Randy Orton. Our guy Busby tried to get us in trouble.
He did immediately
after last podcast. He cut that clip of you saying that this match is going to be garbage and people shouldn't be excited about this. And did you change your opinion after seeing this match?
Absolutely not. And there was a bunch of people in my mentions being like, haha, told you so. See, they showed him. I was like, they did not show me. They did not show me. They showed me? Who showed me? Because I didn't see it. I was like, well, a bunch of people were in that match like, haha, can't believe you said this take after that match. I was all, dude, did we watch the same match? I'm very confused. I was legit like, oh, I was like, you know what? Let me give this a try. Because maybe I was wrong. And then I watched the match and I was all, Get out of my fucking mentions, you fucking idiots. They showed him. Who showed me? Nobody showed me shit. This was awful. John Cena looks like he's hurting in there. If you don't want to be in this wrestling business, get out. Just do promos because this match is god awful. What the fuck is this shit? Phil, they were really like, haha, showed him. They in my DM, in my mentions, being like, oh, we really did it. No, you did not. God. This was terrible. I showed him. We really showed. We got him. I'm like, you did not get me. Did we watch the same match? There's no way we watched the same match.
This was another one where I think if you look at the build the same way you look at the build of the Pat and Gunther stuff, you pretty much knew what this was going to be. Mm-hmm. I knew from jump what this was going to be. Even based on the WrestleMania match, I was like, oh, I can tell exactly what this is going to be. And it's more of like what I'm not the biggest fan of that they're doing, especially with the main event. It's kind of in line with what I don't like about what they're doing with the Death Rider stuff. It's like, all right, we're gonna do a match at this pace, and then it's gonna turn into send the referees out, send all these people out, send all that. It's just like, yeah. I mean, I get what this is for, though. Like, you got to get this one out the way. You're doing a John Cena farewell tour. Orton's probably one of his most notorious rivalries. You got to get this big one out the way. It's St. Louis. He's going to, if anywhere, Randy's going to get the big, warm babyface reception. It's his hometown. And doing it with Cena here and Cena being a heel in his hometown makes a ton of sense. And so I get all of that. I get all of the stuff around it. And I even thought, like, for the most part, the build getting up to the match was good. I was fine with it. This stuff that John is doing as a heel, where it's just so cartoonish the way he sells.
What is it, Phil?
The pace he's doing with the matches, the him intentionally doing certain simplistic moves. It's
he's
just
like stop to look around at the crowd. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah,
guys.
It's just too on the nose. It's everything I was saying about the WrestleMania match that I didn't like. It's just so on the nose. And I personally think this was better than the WrestleMania match.
It was. But, you guys did get me on that point. It wasn't as bad as the Mania match.
Yeah, I think it was a WrestleMania match, but mostly because it felt like a big match, and it felt like a big, at the very least, it felt like a big main event match because they had all the plunder around it. They had all of the interference and stuff, but it's still not for me, man. I'm not a fan of this. The interference spot and like the refs coming down and Orton one by one RKO and all of the referees and executives coming in there. I was just like, okay.
Was it last year's Backlash, Cody and AJ Styles, and they fucking tore the roof off of the shit, and like I was like, yeah, we're lit. What? How did we get from that to this?
And correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think that was the main event of that show.
It wasn't the main event. No, I don't think it was. No.
Yeah.
I just want to know how we got from that to both of the Pat McAfee's and the semi-main event, and then we have this match. I'm like, where's Cody? Help me, Cody.
Yeah, I think Easy David, and this is kind of what I was saying with the McAfee thing. I think that this match lent itself to that crowd, and I think for the live experience, it worked because the crowd there, they were having fun with it.
Yeah.
But sitting at home, I was just kind of like, all right.
And again, I'm happy that you guys did, but yeah, not for me at all. 0%.
Yeah, I mean, like even the spot where Orton's doing RKOs on all the referees, and like the crowd popped for all of those RKOs. They didn't care. They were cheering for it. They were like, "Wow, where's RKOs? We love it.
We like this move."
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Just where we're going with this. I posted after the match. We're approaching that conversation with me because I liked this heel turn initially, and I liked some of the execution of it. But the longer this goes on, I'm just like,
Is it time?
I'm going to give it a few more weeks. I'm going to give this a few more weeks. I'm going to get this into the next pay-per-view feud. But
we got a mini feud before then, though.
Correct. So in the middle of this, we got R-Truth coming down to interfere.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what helped Cena win the match. Afterwards, Cena did some of his acting and he showed
some of his acting.
Yeah, I mean that's what he was doing some acting. He showed remorse for what he did. And it like, but see, I've always assumed that there's a story going here. Like he's not gonna retire as a heel.
No,
he's going to get his final farewell, and he's going to get cheered on the way out.
It's the realization that, oh no, I actually do love all this. I love all you. This is something I was in that position for a long time because I loved it, and he's going to start to slowly realize that again.
Yes, so him showing remorse here, fine. Like I said, I think the execution. Again, we'll have that conversation. The match itself, though, the
matches are god awful. I'm sorry. I like John Cena a lot. Yeah. I know what this farewell thing is, but that Randy and then Truth is next. I'm like, oh my god.
This style of match where people are telling us it's intentionally bad because he's ruining wrestling. That's what you're supposed to think, and it's like, oh, man, I want to enjoy the match though. I want to enjoy what I'm watching though. I mean, I get it. You can do that and do it in a better way, and I don't think it's being done well.
I'm like, I should not be punished for wanting to watch your show. Oh, they're showing you, no, do not punish me, dude. I'm watching this.
But yeah, the John Cena, of course, retained with the help of R-Truth. We got the stuff in the press conference where R-Truth came in there and said, man, you should be proud of yourself. All that time they were saying you can't wrestle, and John Cena immediately took offense. It's like he wasn't even listening to what he said. He just got triggered by him saying, you can't wrestle. And that's not what R-Truth meant, of course, but he immediately got triggered and he was like, you've crossed the line. You say anything else, there'll be repercussions. And R-Truth was just like, but I was just trying to, and then immediately gets put through a table. Mm-hmm. That starts to build to the Saturday night main event match where effectively back to Capital Punishment 2011. R-Truth versus John Cena may main event that show. And when I say may, it's going to main event that show. There's no way that it doesn't. Yeah. And so far they're billing it as just a regular match. It's not a world title match. Because when they aired the commercial last night, they made a point of saying that Jey Uso is going to defend his belt against Logan Paul. When they got to the John Cena match, they did not say John was defending his belt. Now, maybe that'll change, but it doesn't seem like it's a title match.
It's just a match.
That's what it seems like.
I mean, it's exciting for R-Truth because he's been doing this bit for a long time. It's funny. It's good. He should be in a position. He should be in main events, but the match. Cena's going to be in the match.
Yes. Again, I know that WWE fans are going to enjoy this. People that are tapped into this and they like their brand of wrestling and like the stuff, their style of storytelling, they're going to like this.
Do they like the John Cena heel turn though? Is this like, I want to know what the universal thing is. Cause like,
yeah.
Would this all have been better if he was just a baby face?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm seeing in the chat that it might not main event, but if it doesn't main event, is Jay going to go on last or the steel cage match?
Jay and Logan in the main event?
Yeah. And we also have the tag match also.
I would put Jay and Logan in the main event, that's for sure. I would put that tag match in the main event, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. We had a tag match as well. Seth Rollins, Brian Breaker versus Sammy and CM Punk. I doubt that main event.
I would have that main from a work week thing, but I don't think it will. They'll probably open.
It'll probably be the world title match or the cage match, if I had to guess. But it's hard for me to believe that they're going to put John Cena on Saturday night main event and he's not going to main event.
Not going to be last. Yeah, John Cena on primetime NBC. I can't see them not putting him as the main event. You're right.
Yeah, but they haven't announced it in total yet. They could change the match.
Thinking about it, like Logan Paul main event at NBC, that might also be a thing. That might be appealing to.
That could be true. But yeah, that was Backlash. I thought that the show started very well. I thought the first two matches were great. And And just for my preference of what I want to see, just the action and like the in-ring storytelling, I really liked the first 2 matches. From then on, it got more into the bit of WWE stuff that I'm not the biggest fan of.
Sports entertainment, baby.
Yeah, and I mean, look, sometimes that's for me. Sometimes it's just very much not for me. And those last 3 matches, I was sitting there like, oh, well. But I knew that going in.
They put a bunch of bits in that are anti-Phil Lindsey. Like Orton's in the main event. We don't like Orton. Like Pat McAfee's in a match. We ain't fucking with Pat McAfee. You know what I mean? Like it's a bunch of things, like you said, you were never gonna really be into.
Yeah. Nah, as soon as I heard, whoa, I turned the other TV on and turned the volume up. I was like, all right, man. What we doing, man?
I still think back when he had that fucking choir. Remember our reaction when he had that choir? And we were just like, what is this?
The most unseasoned choir I've ever seen.
Oh my God.
Not a single black person in
Where
there.
did you guys find this choir at?
And wasn't it in Atlanta? Where did they find that choir in Atlanta? I was like,
oh my God, unbelievable.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, look, that crowd is just like, this is what I want out of wrestling. You know, yeah. I want this, and you know, wrestling is fine, but you can't sell a whole pay-per-view on wrestling. Those people are going to be fine with this. Yeah. This isn't really for me.
No, not really the way to sell the stuff that I would, but I mean, it does fill a role. Like the John Cena stuff, the retirement tour, he knew it was going to be a bunch of rehashing of things. Like we knew this Randy Orton match was coming, but it was just like, I would rather this have been the Saturday night's main event match, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, it's the same with our Truth thing. It's just checking the boxes. We're going to get to the stuff. Like, we're eventually going to get to the Punk match.
Right.
There's no way they don't do a Punk match on his farewell tour, you know, barring something unfortunate happening. And there's other things that I would assume they're going to get to. I don't think we see Cody for some time. It just makes sense to keep Cody off the board for a while.
Cody, but what? Yeah, because as soon as you bring him back, he has to go right to getting his belt back.
Yeah. Because it just makes more sense if you're going to have a Money in the Bank winner, you've got an immediate chaser for John, and Money in the Bank. I think Sammy should win. That's who I want to win. I don't know if he will, but with the stuff that they've been saying with him for 2 years, the story they've been telling about him wanting to be world champion, I think he should win a briefcase.
Sammy, I like that. I think that's a good plan. And him carrying that briefcase, he could carry it for a while too. He won't even immediately have to get to it. I think him having that and using that for a while would be good.
Yes. Somebody just said something that it's gone now. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Viral Trigger said, Phil, do you want to see your boy lose to Cena? I don't, because I was never a Cena guy. But I do think that he's going to. If it were me and I had the pencil, I think it would be incredibly smart for him to be the one that beats Cena on the way out in time for Cody to come back, and you start building towards Cody versus Punk.
Because they kind of laid out some seeds, planted some seeds for the Cody and Punk shit.
Yes.
Before Cody was out.
I think that should be a WrestleMania match at this point.
Yeah.
I honestly think it could have been the Mania match this year, but like if you're going to do a big Cody match at WrestleMania, even if it's a non-title match, I think Punk should be one of his next opponents.
But see, I'm on two sides of it because I agree that we shouldn't have Cody around because he's gonna muddy up the world title scene. But then we also should have Cody around though. He's the biggest star around here, right?
Well, he's earned some time off.
He definitely has earned his time off. That's a fact.
But he'll be back. I just think that they're trying to let this marinate and attempting to get people to boo John Cena. At this point, it is what it is. People are going to play along and boo him, but people like him. They're not really booing him because they hate him. They're just trying to play along with the storyline.
Mm-hmm. And as he keeps hitting these old towns, people have been seeing him for 20 years. People are going to continue to cheer him. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
It's just what it is.
Yeah, but I do think this is eventually leading to Cody coming back and beating him.
Right. Yeah, Cody's going to be champion again when this is all said and done, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's been announced his last match is going to be Saturday Night Main Event in Boston, Massachusetts in December.
Wow.
That makes a lot of sense.
Damn, that's crazy. The year's already flying by, too. Like, that's going to be fucking soon. And then Cena's going to be gone. Crazy.
Wild.
With the way he's wrestling right now. He probably should already. Yeah, that was Backlash. Good for you guys. You guys showed me.
People are going to be very upset. I thought it was very funny, by the way. In our usual fashion of you going off on something, I'll be like, yeah, that's pretty funny. And then somebody will be like, yeah, but you stop complaining. I'm like, me? Wait a minute. Me?
Shut up, Phil. What are you doing? I'm like, Phil didn't even say nothing.
What did I do? Because I didn't like it.
That's why Phil always talking shit. I was like, I was actually talking shit though. I don't know. Why did you? What happened there?
I don't know.
What a good thing. But don't put me on blast, Busby. This needs to stay on the pod. Only the thousands of people that are watching.
Only the thousands of people that are seeing it. Not those other millions and thousands of people other places.
Not them, just these thousands. For the thousands in attendance.
The millions. And millions. Let's see, we got some more super chats.
Van Twinblade says, oh no, we read that one already. The tournament of death.
Sorry.
Yeah, all good. Thanks, Van Twinblade.
There you go.
Single blue note. The Panda says Pat is for the social / casual fans and ESPN sound bites.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like, is he? Like, I know he is, but did it do that? Was like,
yeah, I think it did.
Okay.
I mean, I know enough people outside the wrestling bubble that at least knew there was something going on with him. So
yeah,
it did what it was supposed to do. And that's why I'm like, that's why, again, it's important to say what is not for you and what's probably intended for a different audience. And I get why you want to do it. It's just not really for me.
Totally. Yeah, like when Speed was on there, like I understand I show Speed like why he's on there, but like he's not for me, you know?
Yeah.
But I get it. Our It says happy Grapsody coming in late. Hope y'all are well. Hype for Anarchy in the Arena. Hope Willow gets the win. Phil, you see the Superman trailer.
I did see the Superman trailer. It looks pretty good. I think it looks like everything the Snyder movies were not. I think that's the best thing about it.
This might be the most excited I've seen people about a Superman movie.
Yeah, it looks great.
Usually it's like either universally everybody's mad or it's 50-50 of people being like, I'm excited, and a bunch of people being like, I'm not excited. But I've mostly seen people being like, I'm excited.
Well, you got to think, the most universally loved Superman movies were the Christopher Reeves movies, and that was way back in the 80s.
So long ago.
And so we've gone a long time without like Superman movies that did well. We'll say that because
yes,
like Superman Returns, it looked promising, but it wasn't very good.
Mm-mm.
And then Man of Steel
haven't got it right for like my whole life. It feels like they keep trying to get the Superman.
That's
thing
pretty
down.
much it is.
Can't get it down.
It's pretty much what it is. I mean, Man of Steel, people like it, but very divisive movie. I personally am not a fan of it.
Right. Superman's the most decisive superhero, but divisive because people are just like either they love it or hate it. But the movie, it's always like his cameos or other things beyond a full Superman movie where it works. But anytime it's like this is a Superman movie, it's usually something.
Yeah, but because I mean, when you think about Batman, for example, like the two Burton movies, people like those movies, but you also got the Nolan movies in between there. You also, and then you also got the Matt Reeves movie that people like. There hasn't been as good of a track record with Superman movies.
No, not like that. Yeah. And then the people don't like the Supermans themselves usually. Like there's always so much attached to it.
I mean, I like Brendan Roth. And I mean, I don't think Henry Cavill was bad either. I just didn't like the movie.
Right.
I think the casting was fine. The movie was
Nicolas Cage.
Oh well, we never got that one. Tim Burton was trying to give us that one, and it never happened.
I wish that one would have came out. That shit would have been so funny.
You wanted him to fight that mechanical spider?
Yes. How hilarious would Nicolas Cage fight a big ass spider have been?
With like the mullet and everything? Like, yeah, that would have been an interesting choice.
The way that he looked in the suit was so funny. I'm like, damn, this shit would not have worked out. But it would have been a great bit for us to watch, you know?
What a career.
Mm-hmm.
What a career. Nicolas Cage. He's gotten away with some things that he probably shouldn't have gotten away with, but because it's Nicolas Cage, we all accepted that it was a good movie.
That's a great way to put it. There's some things that it's like he should be out of here for this, but he's still here. He's reinventing himself. Good idea. It's like Chris Jericho.
Yeah, he's got the Spider-Man Noir thing coming to Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the latest thing he's working on. I don't know what else. But he's Nicolas Cage. He doesn't have to do anything else, and he's already had a great career.
Yeah.
Humper chats from Tony P. He said, then we had that fucking main event. I have a lot of complaints for the management, that establishment. Why not just do a DQ match? It would have made overbooking at least fun. They really just copying and pasting Bloodline Roman matches onto Cena. See, I think every time I'm like, yeah, I think this style of matches, I've just had enough of it. I think this is just it. They like doing the spectacle style of matches. That's their thing.
Right. Yeah.
And I just, either that's for you or it's not.
It's their main event match is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're not going to do like the straightforward work rate match at their main event match. That's not what they do. They want to sell you on like all of the spectacle and story.
Anything can happen. They've been saying that for years. Like it's going to be plunder. It's going to be this. You never know what could happen in one of our main events.
Yeah. So I think that's just their style of big matches now, and just not for me. I'm not a fan of it.
Damn it.
I mean, but there's other things that they do well that I do like. I mean, for me, I think the women have been killing it recently.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And sometimes the tag team division can kill it, and sometimes if given an opportunity, any division can give it to you. You know.
Yes. The tag match we got last night was really good. I thought DIY versus Fraxium was really good.
Mm-hmm. DIY.
Yeah, I'm excited for the tag match we're getting next week. So sometimes they hit it out the park with the tag matches.
But they're just gonna ramp up this shenanigan style main event. Like it's gonna be even more moving forward, right?
That's their style of matches, guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they want to do. More from Tony P. He says, again, the crowd being into Randy invested in the match is the only thing that saved it from the overbooking. This goes to the bigger issue with the WWE creative. As it seems, it has gotten lazy, don't care, or are lost altogether. He says, honestly, it's like Triple H is trying to stumble into chicken salad with chicken shit because he's having trouble booking stuff post Bloodline. They're doing hint, then not following up, or use them later to trick people like it was a plan all along. I think some of this is people are just not as into this at the Bloodline stuff. I think people are more forgiving of the style of matches that the Bloodline were in because they were invested in those characters. And I don't think people are as invested in John Cena as a heel at the moment. I think that's part of the difference.
Yeah, I think the fans and a lot of people just keep continuously telling us that they don't want this. Like you said, they're along for the ride because they like John Cena, but nobody wants to boo this guy, man. Yeah. Like it's just like nobody wants to do that. We love Cena. You get built goodwill for the last 20 years, and then one day you want all these same people that are wearing your t-shirts currently to boo you. That's not how this works.
Well, it's the famous WWE monkey paw. You spend enough time saying you want something, and then when they give it to you, it's gonna come with a catch. And you've been asking for this heel turn for all this time. No. This is what you wanted. Nope. What do you mean you don't want this anymore? This is what you wanted. You kept asking for it.
Every time for the last 20 years, you've been saying to do this, and now we did it, and we're like, nope, don't want it.
Yep.
But yeah, nobody wants to boo John Cena, man. Come on. I'm not the biggest Cena fan in the world, and I don't want to boo him. Like, what is this? What do you mean?
Well, I personally enjoy booing him. I think it's great, but that's why it's like I said, give me a few weeks. I'm just gonna give me a few weeks.
See, I think I'm one of those snobby ass fans that I want to boo him on my terms, not because you're telling me. You know what I mean? Like, don't tell me that he's a heel. I want to boo him because I hate him. You know,
bro. I've been waiting all this time for you guys to see that this guy is a fraud. I've been waiting, and so give this some time for me. I just will. I think when we get to like other opponents, it's gonna get better.
Like when it's Punk, it's gonna hit. You know,
because he's gonna give us better promos. Like their back and forth are gonna be better, and based off the little bit of their interactions in the Elimination Chamber match, I think the match is gonna be better.
Because Punk just knows how to work with John Cena. Even like their old matches, when you watch them, like the way that they work together is just different, and they could still work that pace. Like this isn't one of those situations where I think Cena's going to be who he is now. Like I know Punk is going to figure out a way to make it all work.
Yeah. AJ Styles is another one. I think
AJ.
if we get an AJ match on this farewell tour, I would bet it's going to be good.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's AJ Styles.
He always does it.
More from Tony P. He says, like the shit with Roxanne and Julia getting paired up, Finn talking to them like they're going. Sorry, I think he means like they're going to off JD. Then I think he means they're going to off Judgment Day. Then the shit online break. Then the shit with the online breakup. Overall, even with the bright spots, WWE is starting to feel dull again. Hell, I forgot what happened on Raw and NXT. I don't watch that other show, but Raw is the better show. I think Raw is easily the better of the two main shows. SmackDown is a bit too long. Yeah. At least you're gonna get better matches on Raw sometimes, and I like because EO's been smoking it on Raw, and I think a lot of times the main event is at least good on Raw.
SmackDown just gets to like a dragging point when it's like 2 hours in and you're like, damn, there's still more of the show. It's just like, it's just too much.
It's too much filler on SmackDown. I think that's the issue. But yeah, I feel you.
I think they figured out the structure with it being on Netflix on how like, if we didn't have with the different structure and not having to do so many commercials and things, this is how we would do the show. Like that's what SmackDown doesn't feel like that. You know what I mean? They're like, well, we have to fill these 3 hours. What can we do?
Yeah. So often we get a match that seems like it's going on too long so they can fill time. Right. I think that's the issue a lot of times with SmackDown. But SmackDown it's kind of a chore to watch sometimes. Raw isn't as bad.
And it like no matter what, Friday night still like even if you don't be going out, it's still a Friday night. Like there's just something that is attached to that, you know?
Yeah. Definitely. How do you feel about Julia getting fast tracked to the main roster?
Expected. Just I don't want to say surprised because I'm not surprised, but I'm surprised that it happened so quickly. And like with the thing that was going on in NXT and vacating the belt and then the weird stuff that happened and then like this going from Raw now she's on SmackDown is like, well, this is kind of a lot happening in a short period of time.
Yeah, I think Stephanie got over a lot quicker than people expected. And I'm kind of surprised they didn't fast track Stephanie as well because
me too.
She's very, very popular with their audience right now. But that may be also why they settled with her as champion and settle for a lack of a better word. Of course, settle has a negative connotation to it, but I think she's so popular that it made more sense to just make her the face of the brand at the moment. And you could get to the other women behind her, whether it be Jordan Grace and Delta or whoever else down there. Like you can slow walk it to get to there, and then you've got time. Julia, I'm not surprised at all they fast tracked her because she's such
like she could have went to the main roster without going to NXT, you know?
Yeah, she's such a logical fit for what they do. She fits the look that they want over there.
Yeah.
Her English is pretty good. She speaks multiple languages. She's immediately going to be marketable. She can have the matches up there with a lot of women on the main roster. So it just felt like a natural fit anyway.
I think she went down to the PC and they were like, "Oh yeah, she don't need to be here. She's ready."
And I think they've got such a bloated roster, and we talked about this before with just the pipeline from LFG and then Evolve, and you've got wrestlers coming from TNA and all this rest of this stuff. So it's like, we don't necessarily need you down here if we're going to have more women coming here anyway. Right. And you're ready, made for the main roster already. So it made sense for me. I mean, her up there with Charlotte and that's there. Then I was like, yeah, she belonged up there.
This is why. This is what it is. That's why she's been fast track, because you can immediately slot her into things with Charlotte, with the big players, with the Nias, with everybody that's ready to go, and she's ready for that.
Yeah, I don't think Stephanie's long for NXT either.
No,
I think she'll be up on the main roster very soon
they
too.
Love them some Stephanie, the people and fans alike. Like she's tapping into something different.
Yes, but man, they've got so many women down there that they could make champion. They'll be fine. Yeah. That's why to me, it just made perfect sense to just move Julie on.
I think it's awesome that Roxanne is full time essentially too on the main roster.
Yes, it kind of feels like they made the point to introduce them together and then split them up. I'm assuming Roxanne is going to stay on Raw.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
I think she fits better.
Makes sense. Yeah. More from Tony P. He says, also don't let me get started on women's booking, which is near year 2-3-ish AEW level now. I'm going to just end it here. Go Art and more JP and indie wrestling to catch up on. Means Japanese and indie wrestling to catch up on. Rest peacefully now, Sabu. Hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Appreciate you as always, Tony P.
Thanks, Tony.
From Van Twinblade. We could talk about Backlash, but never mind that shit. Rest in peace to Mongo. For the love of God, tell me y'all get that reference. Sorry, he says rest in peace, Mango. I thought that was a typo. Van Twinblade. I don't know what there's a reference to.
Never mind that shit. Who comes Mango? But yeah, rest in peace to Steve Mongo McMichael. I remember watching Nitro in the early days and being like, who is this guy? And them converting him into a pro wrestler and like essentially being in like the Four Horsemen and the shit he used to do with Deborah. He became like a really funny fixture in character in pro wrestling and WCW specifically. A long time wrestling, just a guy that was a big fan of wrestling that kind of joined in to have a career. And so rest in peace to Steve Mongo McMichael, Chicago legend. So,
yes. Was here when we were winners. That was a long time ago. Super Bowl shuffling.
He was a big part of the reason that you guys are winners out there, man.
Yeah. All-time great defense. Haven't seen a team like that here ever again. Yeah. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to Buddy Ryan. Shout out to that defense, man.
Dude, it's been your entire life. Like they're like 85. This is it.
Yeah. Yeah. Van Twinblade continued. He says, also St. Louis, Marion, Illinois, where the state pen is, and Eastern Kentucky got Mama Nature backhand yesterday. Much love to all affected. Yeah, we got this very weird dust storm. I've never seen a dust storm in this city. Really? Yeah, it was strange. Like you could see it coming up the street. Like you could see the air turning to like a brown color, and like the wind picked up, and yeah, it got ridiculous. Like if you were like in the middle of it, like at one point I was in the middle of it, and it's like you had to be out there with goggles. Damn near, it was horrible.
Damn, I don't know what's going on here, and
I've never seen a dust storm in this city, but it was weird.
I was thinking the weather was weird outside today, and Cali, so maybe I don't know. Maybe that stuff's coming this way because it's looking kind of dusty out there. Now that you mention it, where's this dust? What is this?
I don't know where that came from.
Don't like it. But yeah, if anybody's dealing with some crazy weather, sending love out to y'all.
Appreciate you. From D-Lo Diggs, been going through a lot loss. The big bro with cancer. Cancer sucks. Love you all and everyone for the safe place. Yeah, man. Condolences. Cancer does indeed suck. But then he says, don't get it twisted. First pick, first shift, first Smith. Fire that bum ass Nico Harrison. But this Diddy is just wild.
I knew the Nico thing was coming, and I was happy about it, and I loved it. It's funny with the Diddy stuff, Phil, is like, this is the beginning. Like, we just, this trial just started.
Trial just started. We still got more. We still have more of those weird looking trial drawings that make them look like
drawings.
Those drawings that make him look like the granddad from Cosby Show for some reason.
I'm like, wait, is that how he looks now?
People were like, he instantly got old. And I was like, no, he's just old. He stopped dyeing his hair.
That's when people say that, I'm like, yeah, because he's in the pen and can't use that just for men anymore. You guys, like, come on.
Oh, man.
This is what he looked like.
Yeah.
I mean, he is definitely stressed, but
definitely. Got one from Tony P. This didn't get sent at the first time. The music industry continues to show how fucked up it is. Can we please have a pack up Drake and the niggas that love Lane's lame ass? Also, the UK can keep Chris over there. Also, fuck Diddy, man. Yeah, some of this people still are doing the Tory is innocent, free Tory thing. Like, y'all ain't off that yet. Oh.
That's all I was thinking all week. Y'all are not off this yet. The Bodyguard came out. I'm like, no, dude. So, Tory he took the rap, so they won't think he was a snitch. I'm like, he took the what? That doesn't even make sense, you dumb idiots. This guy has a life and kids and money and thing, and he took the rap so the fucking internet wouldn't think he's a snitch. Get out of stop tweeting, please.
Yeah.
Why do they have this connection? Somebody was like, they're connected to, like, you can't even put him on like the level of like R. Kelly or like some people that he defended before, because he has I can't name one Tory Lanez song. Like, he ain't got nothing, no reason for these people to be jumping out the window like they do. Phil, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm good. People were mad at Drake because Drake, I guess, shared a petition for Tory or something, and then he was saying free Tory. And this is in the midst of Tory getting stabbed in jail, which is horrible. People making jokes about that. I didn't think any of that was funny. I'm like, yeah, that's awful. He supposedly got stabbed like 14 times.
Happened in that Tehachapi prison, a suburb of Bakersfield, California. So there's some connections there. I was like, oh, he was in Tehachapi, and I saw the guy that did it, and I was like, oh yeah. That guy definitely did it. He got stabbed up 14 times, they say, and that was connected to a thing, and the free Tory thing, and the way that people jump on these bandwagons and try to fight for people that they don't know is super weird.
Yeah. Yeah, probably not the best look to be putting out that petition or siding with a guy that shot one of your peers, or was supposed to be one of your peers.
I probably wouldn't do that. Yeah. A petition?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Hey, man, he's looking crazy. That petition, you in court over a rap beef? You looking real crazy, dog. Like, what are you doing,
dog? Please
What are we doing, dog?
Somebody, one of his homies got to be like, chill, my bro, chill.
Yeah.
Come on. A petition, dog?
Yikes.
You got the clipboard? Like, what is this?
We got a very generous Humper chat from Anonymous. He says, hey, check out Freaky Tales, a cool anthology movie set in 80s Oakland, blending stories about hip-hop, punk, and basketball with Pedro Pascal. Made me think of y'all. Appreciate you.
I have been, that's on the docket. I'm definitely going to go see that, probably at the Grand Lake Theater, smack dab in the middle of Oakland, California. Very excited about it. The Warriors game that I went to a few weeks ago, the cast from the movie Freaky Tales was there. So yeah, I definitely see that. 2 shorts in it. So like, of course, come on.
I mean, Oakland, freaky. The correlations were made.
It's all there. But yeah, thanks for that super chat, and thanks for reminding me. I'm gonna go check that out.
Yeah. That is all of our Humper Chats.
We might have 1 or 2 super chats. Super. Got this girl unless you want me to. Recipe some up doom.
Yeah, that's all of our Humper Chats.
Okay.
We got
Thanks
one
everybody
more.
for submitting those. Y'all are dope.
I think we got one more super chat.
Mm-hmm.
No, sorry, we got 2 more.
2 more supers. All right, the homie Single Blue Nut Panda says, Reg, are you watching Dynamite 300 in person or at home? It's in Ontario, though it's like 8 hours south of the Bay Area. Yeah, Ontario is kind of a hike. I think the reason that I'm not, though, is it's really close to All In, and I'm going to Texas.
Yes.
But I mean, also, I don't know. Who knows? We'll see when that time comes.
Yeah. I think all of those Chicago shows here are right after All In. I think it's like the week after.
Nice. Lucky you. The man Twin Blades also says, Blazing Saddle, guys, come on. Yes, I typoed. Oh, yeah, Blazing Saddle. I don't know if I've ever fully watched Blazing Saddles.
No, of course I've seen it all the way through, but I assumed that it was a typo and you meant Mongo. That's why I was like, yeah. I don't think you meant Mango.
I just remember the Nevermind the Shit Who Comes Mongo shit from Matthew, who does it on Botchamania.
Yeah, internet wrestling legend Matthew.
The guy.
Yeah, that is all of our super chats. Before we get out of here, I'm gonna speed run through Best Super Juniors.
Yeah,
somehow
I was up late last night and I caught one actually. I was like, oh, wrestling's on. It's late.
Yeah, I managed to catch up on most of it during the week because I was like, wait, how many of these has I missed at one point? I was like, oh, there have been 3. Great. So
they're flying.
Yeah,
that's why they say these New Japan tournaments are so intensive. Like this is every other day. These guys are fighting hardcore matches and going 1,000 miles per hour and traveling. Like this is an intense tournament.
Grueling. At one point, LP was saying he thinks this is a more grueling tournament than the G1. And I think he's right with just how close the matches are together, the style of matches. It just, makes sense.
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense with how hard these guys are going. And like we talked to a couple people, Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight, who have been in the tournament and saying like there's one day off, but it's like a travel day. So it's like there's no days off. You're just traveling, wrestling, traveling again, hopping in the bus for 8 hours. Like it's grueling as hell. And these are the small guys, the luchadors, the junior heavyweights. So like it's crazy.
Yeah, but also working a very crazy style, throwing themselves into these like insane spots. Speaking of insane spots, I'm sure the spot that most people have seen from this tournament at this point is Ninja Mac during the Ninja special out of the ring and continuing to flip all the way up the aisle to catch Robbie X before he can make it out of the entrance and run away. Great for him, man.
That thing's probably at like 500 million views across all platforms, and not joking. Like every time it's on a new platform, it gets like 100 million views. I've been seeing that on music pages, on sports pages, on rap page. Like that shit is everywhere, dude. Like Ninja Mac is absolutely insane. Did about 20 different backflips starting in the ring and ended up all the way at the ramps. Like super dope for him. He's insane. He also did like another clip of him doing a double moonsault to the outside. Like just a tremendously, insanely talented high flyer.
Yeah, and that was Ninja Mac versus Robbie X from night 2, I believe. Like he said, that has gone viral. It has been everywhere. Ninja Mac was just saying this morning, thanks for everybody for sharing this and helping this go viral. Hopefully that does a lot for him and he, makes money, gets booked. He deserves it. He's a very talented wrestler. It seems like he's kind of moved on from that GCW circle and has moved into the Japanese wrestling circle pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think because he's done a lot of work in Dragon Gate.
Yes.
And having some super fun matches over there. I didn't know that he was going to establish himself like that in Japan, but I'm super happy about it because he's doing some crazy ass spots.
Yeah, sign this guy.
Like, how could they not after this week, dog? That's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, good for him. That match ended up being pretty good. Robbie X is Robbie X, of course, one of the War Dogs. He had a solid match with Robbie X. But really, I think the match of night 2, I'm trying to remember everything that was on night 2 because a lot of wrestling, guys.
So much wrestling.
I think it was Taguchi. That's right. Taguchi main evented. Do you know anything about the junior heavyweights, New Japan, this tournament? Taguchi has been a fixture in this tournament. He's still cooking. He's still got it. He's doing more comedy wrestling now. But when it comes down to it, this guy still got it. Ended up picking up a pretty solid win over Ishimori to end night 2. That probably was best match of that night for me.
I think coming out of the second and third night, I was on the same boat that you were when I asked you about it last week. Who kind of impressed you? I think that the run that Nick Wayne has been having in this tournament, Phil, and the way that he's presented himself and been working is on a different level. Like, he feels like a different wrestler.
He's great. And they're booking him very strong. I mean, if you've been keeping up, he has 6 points at this point. He's tied for first place in B block. One of those wins is over last year's winner and the current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, Desperado. That match was a lot of fun, and he picked up the win. Like, I'm good for him. I think he's looked great in the matches he's been in. He picked up a loss this morning, which I was surprised he lost.
I got to watch that match live and in person. Well, Nick Wayne coming down with the ROH Television Championship, I think, has also added a different element to that. I don't know if that's up to his confidence, but he feels and looks great carrying that. Kevin Knight, the same thing that you said last week too. What level he's locked into, Phil, is crazy. Like, he feels like he's the most confident wrestler in the world. When he came down this morning, like, you could just feel the energy off of him. And him and Nick Wayne had the thing that I love most about this tournament is most of the matches are sprints. Like, they're just like ding, ding, ding. And then the guys are just like bam, 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 just like back to back to back. And that's what a lot of this match felt like. Kevin Knight knocked into something else. Like, he feels like when he has the New Japan crowd and he's in Japan and all that, he also feels like a different wrestler. Like, they feel like completely different guys than the guys we see on AEW TV.
Yeah, love his confidence now. Watching him go from young lion to tagging with Kushida to where he is now, totally different wrestler. Just his taunts, the way he styles on people, the little taunt he does where he does like the flex and like he's talking shit in Japanese to you. Love it. He's great. But yeah, he picked up the win here over Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne's first loss in the tournament. I thought it made sense with their history together for him to pick up the win here because all the rest of these guys in this tournament, he's new to them. He's seen everything that this guy does. He's ready for it. And so you're not going to catch him with all of the old tricks I've seen you do.
And they work together now in AEW, so he has a different kind of connection. So, of course, he would kind of have the drop on how to finish them. Finish them with one of those great big turnaround splashes, the UFO that he uses, like just tremendous work. And like I said, Nick Wayne, after the Desperado stuff, like he's just gaining confidence with every match and becoming a better wrestler. Like the way that he's working, he feels like a veteran, and the way that he's structuring his matches is totally different. Like that's why they say going out and doing grueling tournaments like this is better, makes you a better wrestler. And I can already see it with Nick Wayne.
Yeah, you can see he's catching on. After he won the match against Despy, you can see the crowd now that they know him. They're getting louder for him. It's working. Like the presentation, the jacket he's wearing, I think his music is a slapper. We don't hear his music as often on AEW, but now that I've seen him wrestle 4 matches in a row and I've heard, I'm like, nah, he got a joint.
The JPEG Mafia song, man. Like this is not just like some fool. But yeah, this has been great for him and Kevin Knight. The AEW connection has been awesome.
Yes. Kevin Knight is not as fortunate in this tournament. He's got 2 points. He's at the bottom of B block, but he's had some fantastic matches. He had the match with Mao, who I think has been the standout of this tournament.
Mao,
he's been killing it. The match he had with Kevin Knight was great. Also had the match against El Desperado. Loved that match. This guy, man. If you didn't know who Mal was before this tournament, man, you better get to know him. He's fantastic, man. That running palm strike he does looks great. He does that little taunt where he hulks up and like turns into a square, almost like Mr. Fantastic and Marvel Rivals. He's great.
Yeah, the way that he kind of has this balls to the wall type of style where he's a little bit unorthodox, but totally like controlled. And the way that he throws that Phoenix splash that he does is fucking what, dude? Like, he brings a certain kind of energy that I don't know who has impressed me more coming off the show that I watched today. It was either Mao or Dragon Dia. Dragon Dia was fucking, that motherfucker was going 1,000 miles per hour. I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, he right in this tournament, man. I think this has been Mao's tournament.
Mao is fucking incredible, dude.
He's been fantastic. His match with Desperado, like I said, was really good. He also had a really good one with Taiji Ishimori. Yeah, fantastic, man. I think for me, best match of the tournament so far is probably Hiromu versus Akira Francesco. I think that was the main event from night 3. These things are running together because I've seen so many of them back to back now. But yeah, Akira came in with something to prove. He came in with a chip on his shoulder. He looked great. I love that the United Empire guys are coming along at the same time with him and Callum Newman. Perfect time for them to show what they have. And he's great. And then it's also advantageous time to get the win over Hiromu because Hiromu is kind of lost. Hiromu, for the first time since he's joined New Japan, is not a part of a unit. He is kind of off on his own.
I watched him take a loss this morning too to Dragon Dia. Like, he seems like he's confused about his placement. I think he thought that maybe the Naito stuff was going to extend a little bit longer than, like, I don't know if he thought he was going to be immediately back to kind of what he was in with the junior heavyweight stuff and the best of Super Junior stuff. I thought he probably thought the Naito stuff was going to flesh out a little bit longer, maybe some tag team wrestling. So he's like, well, I don't really know. Like, I have a lot of prestige in this tournament specifically. Like, I've done a lot to establish what this is, but can I continue to compete with these guys at this high level? And he can for sure, but like, he can't put it together enough to get a win, it feels like.
Yeah, all of his matches so far have been really good, but he's picked up a lot of losses so far. He's at the bottom, tied for last place in Block A with Ninja Mac. But I think he's going to pull a Naito on us, guys. I think he's going to have a run of wins towards the end of the tournament. I feel like that's what's going to happen. I think he's going to pick up a bunch of wins towards the end of this tournament and end up in the finals.
Classic New Japan booking. They like to get you down first, and then the triumph of the comeback is where it really hits it home.
Yes. Kosei Fujita also has some great matches so far.
I just love his look, man. He has a great look.
Yes. Yeah. Clark Connors also, man, underrated. Extremely underrated. He's another one. He got Slapper. Slapper of a theme song, man. He's just got the look and everything. Really like Clark.
He's at a good position right now with what the Bullet Club is doing and that energy. Like, that's great energy, and he really like encompasses that in this tournament.
Yes. But yeah, so far, Kosei Fujita is leading along with Dragon Dia on Block A. They're both tied with 6 points. Right underneath them, Akira has 4 points. Robbie X, Kanemaru, Clark Connors, and Kushida and Master Wado are also tied with 4 points. Then, like I said, Ninja Back and Hiromu are at the bottom. Nick Wayne is tied for first place along with Teton and Taguchi, 6 points in the B block. Mao has 4 points. He's tied with Robbie Eagle, Sho, El Desperado. Boy, when I saw Yo and Sho were gonna have another match, I was like, oh, we're getting this match again. And if you've seen their other matches, they've had some great matches. This was not good, guys. I did not like it. It was more of this House of Torture stuff that I'm not enjoying. Yeah. It was just way too many shenanigans throughout the match. Too much interference. I'm like, man, just give us a straightforward match, man.
I think I watched them. There was a Super J Cup show in San Francisco, and I think they had a one-on-one match, and they fucking tore it down. And it's not like that.
That's not what this match was.
House of Torture.
That's not what this match was. But yeah, Yo is at the bottom along with Kevin Knight, Taiji Ishimori. They're both tied. All three of them are tied with 2 points. Good tournament so far. There's still so many matches left, but like I said, Mao's looking like that guy.
I knew when he was announced that he was going to do something because he brings such a different energy than all the other Japanese wrestlers. Like he stands out. He's unique.
Yeah.
And his wrestling style, just you could see it. And it even more glaring and sticks out even more like a sore thumb in New Japan specifically. So I just knew he was going to come in cooking. He's been cooking.
Yeah. King of the North is asking, what is my match of the tournament so far? Yeah, I think you missed it before you came in. It was Akira versus Hiromu so far. Really good match.
Yeah. I'm at
big win for Akira.
The whole thing for sure, but Akira has been building up some good stock. He has a good fight in this.
Yeah. Fun tournament so far. If you're like me and you're just up at crazy times tonight, New Japan World, go look. I'm sure there's there's a ton of matches you can catch up on, and then usually the tournament matches are on at 3 a.m. my time.
I woke up last night. I was like, "Oh, it's Phil Lindsey hours. Let me turn on some wrestling."
Man, but you got that great Mao match this morning.
Yeah, it was a fun show this morning. I was just thinking, like I was saying, the sprints that they have and this just being constant. Just this is such a cool. Back in the day, you guys know how I feel about spot foo and all this stuff. This was my tournament. I like the junior heavyweights. I like the fast guys. I like the spots. So that vibe, it's still exactly the same. It's just a bunch of young, hard, heavy hitters going for it. 1,000 miles per hour. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Impressed with how well Nick Wayne has done so far. That definitely tells me when he comes back to the U.S., might have to get to it with this guy, man.
We might need to see some more of the young kid. He can't just exist in Christian shadow anymore.
I think we're done with that. I think we're done with this patriarchy stuff, man.
I agree. He's shown that if just given the opportunity, what he can do.
Just give me the light.
Is that what he's shown?
Yeah.
Sean Paul.
That was one of the references that Joey dropped in his diss track, and man, I won't get back into it. Out rapping these guys.
We just finish with that and just go back into it.
Out rapping these guys. He was basically like, yeah, I hear you, but just give me the light, basically, meaning send me daylight.
Send it to him. Daylight need to drop.
Apparently the rumor is we might be getting something on Monday.
Oh, really?
Yep. Apparently he tweeted something and deleted it, but it was Morse code for Monday.
I didn't like that picture he put up of capital Steez, though. I didn't like that. I don't like that energy.
I don't want to jump to conclusions yet, because I think that I don't think he meant anything by it. I think he meant he was friends with capital Steez too. Okay. I don't
if think that's what it was, then I like it. If this was this, I don't. You know what I mean? If it's negative energy around, I don't want it.
If he's gonna bring it up in the diss track, I don't want that.
Keep it. We don't need it at all.
But yeah, rest in peace to capital Steez. That's a good place to leave us. This has been Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey, Righteous Reg. Appreciate you guys as always, but we are out of here.
We out.